Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's stream. We are set up for the first semi-final of the tournament. Hello, Futini. And it is going to be BavarianBarbarian, who had an impressive showing against Dafo yesterday, against Xylfit, who also had a quite impressive showing against King Mike. Both players of some might and skill and will face each other. And BavarianBarbarian, yes, please join Discord. Please join. Like, you're invited, right?
Hello.
Hey man, what's up?
So what are we doing?
We are doing the map picks in the Discord so that we know what are your home maps and what are Xylfit's home maps, and afterwards I also posted the link for the Xylfcraft, and whenever Xylfit is joining, then we also get Xylfcraft after.
Okay.
Okay, just a second, be right back. Xylfit, if you come up, we can just do via voice the map picks here. Okay, and Xylfit is here.
Hey. Too. I did.
Cool. So, BavarianBarbarian would begin with one home map, then like Xylfit, and then Xylfit chooses two home maps, and the last home map is again by BavarianBarbarian. All right.
So we're not banning maps?
Yes, we are banning maps. Sorry, first ban maps. Sorry. So you are the one who decides to ban a map, and then Xylfit decides to ban a map, and then we do the drafting. So,
okay,
BavarianBarbarian, yes. Just write it.
Oh, I write it in Discord?
You can write Discord, or I do this. I do ban.
Okay, okay. I am banning cross.
You're
You
banning.
don't want to cross, huh?
Cross.
True that.
Let me just do also to that our viewers have something of it exactly. Okay, BavarianBarbarian has banned the cross. And Mr. Xylfit, have you decided on a ban?
Well, I'm considering. So.
Yeah, I actually put everything down in a little text document, but it forgot to save everything.
No.
Let's remove hideout.
No.
So you guys can see, viewers, you can see the map list here. Arabia is standard, there's no way to ban it. We got left, Nomad, Acropolis, Arena, Golden Pit, Mega Random, and Regicide Fortress. BavarianBarbarian chooses the first map, afterwards Xylfit chooses his two home maps, and the last home map is again BavarianBarbarian. So BavarianBarbarian. It's your turn.
Golden Pit, please.
Okay. And home map 1, Xylfit. What are you deciding?
I'm thinking we could do Nomad.
Okay. And
Second home map.
second home map, Mr. Xylfit. We got until now Golden Pit, Nomad. Pick
I'm thinking Mega Random.
Mega Random.
Nice.
I like my randomness.
And we have home map 2. Going to
Let's
be
go
chosen.
Arena.
Arena. Surprise,
I thought so.
surprise. Surprise. Okay, so we will see Arena, first Arabia, then we have to decide between Golden Pit, Nomad, Mega Random, and Arena, depending on who lost the previous map.
Why didn't you take Regicide Fortress, man?
I don't know. I've never played this map. I'm glad. I'm just glad that you didn't pick it.
It's same as it's similar like Arena. It's a
Just for the
hybrid
king.
between Arabia and Arena, but you start with a castle, towers, and a king.
Yeah, see, I have no idea. How do I play that shit? I don't know.
Yeah, you have to keep your king alive. So, oh no, you're killing my base. Oh, but I know where your king is. Sniped it. I win.
Okay. Well, next time maybe.
Haven't you seen? I think it was like a year ago now. They had a Age tournament. It wasn't it like Hidden Cup 2 or something? No. It was Hera against the Viper, and Hera went Cuman all in and didn't do shit. And Viper was just sitting there laughing. Because, well, yeah, in the final game they played that map, and Hera did an all in that did 0 damage.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, that's never good.
So, good. What we have is then we have the Civ draft. Let's click the link that is just above everyone, and I join as spectator.
Okay, who is speaking first?
Bavarian Barbarian is going to be the host, and Xylfit again, you are the captain, because that's what the dice decided.
Okay.
So I'm the captain, so I pick first. And then we have to get... Yeah, that works. Okay. Press ready once you're ready to start. Your guest is ready. Press... okay, I'm ready. Oh, this is on a clock? Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Otherwise it randomizes.
Too much pressure.
Aztecs. And Aztecs and those were fast picked by both Aztecs and Frank. So there's somebody coming. Second.
Yeah, I'm
Xylfit.
thinking.
Yeah, but I have to commentate. Shut up.
Just mute Baradin.
Yeah.
Wait, is this all this thing?
Yeah, I will mute myself for a second. So guys, we got Frank's, I know Xylfit being very about it, and the hunt. So somebody loves the cavalry right here, and Aztecs, I guess, for Arabia, and Aztecs really solid pick on Arabia, having just a variety of units at hand: arbalists, monks, siege, infantry. Britons, probably for the golden pit we saw yesterday. Barbarian going for the golden pit Britons and being very successful there. And the Bulgarians maybe as an alternative pick to that, or maybe for the arena game with their crap host. The Japanese and the Saracens, those are fast picks. They know what they got here. Mayans and Mongols. We are in the last round, and we talk about the picks a little bit afterwards. And I'm also going to present you our co-caster today afterwards, who joins me. I'm very glad about, who also helped a lot with the tournament organization. Also having the Mayans pick here from Xylfit and the Byzantine that he played yesterday in his gold game. And the Teutons. Alright, so that's a pick. And now, I hope that soon we can also start to let the guys open the lobby and then wait a little bit for us. Let me just unmute myself here. So, guys, somebody please host a lobby, and I will just give the starting sign, and please, because I also have to wait a bit until my co-casters coming online, and but you can also.
I'm very bad at hosting, man. I screwed up the one that I.
Yeah, with the famous relic counter.
Like, oh.
You don't want to host it?
I mean, I can. It'll be fine. Oh,
it will be fine. I will look at the victory condition, and then I will build a wonder. Okay. And I will pick Hans and do upgrade the things so I get more enjoyment of the game. More of a challenge. Why would you do that?
Okay. Does it hide civilizations or no?
You guys, you got to play a 1 channel and play a 2 channel. In case of an admin re, I can just signalize it to you, and otherwise nobody else shall go into your channels and disturb you. And
Yeah.
Also, Barbarian, just as a quick rule, please don't look at chat, so because chat suggestions could influence the tournament a little bit. That would be very fair play too.
Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, so my chat, you mean?
Yes. Oh yeah, your chat.
Oh, okay. Glad you said that.
Yeah, because if they say, hey, like, you forgot your villager there, and...
Nah, you're right. Makes sense. 100%. So I hide civilizations, right?
Yes, you hide civilizations. You don't do it private, you do public.
Public, yeah. What server?
Server, just do the default. We are
Default?
European for now.
Okay.
Are you in Europe, Bavarian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you
That's
guess?
fun.
Yeah, in same time zones. It's fine.
Okay.
Alright, so first one is Arabia.
Yes.
Apply.
Do
Okay.
you wanna search for my name? I think there's only one player with XYLFIT.
XYLFIT. There is only one. Little Wolfie.
Yes, little Wolfie.
And then we go.
Good. You have it open. I go into another channel and Dawnrim will follow me. And if you guys have any questions, you can come over there. I will start to cast now. And I wish you guys good luck, have fun, and enjoyable games. And I hope that we actually will see 5 of those games, because you picked interesting civilizations and maps. So
Of course, they're always interesting.
have fun. Good luck.
Thank you.
So, we are about to cast here. Dawnrim is coming down. Thank you very much, Dawnrim. You just have to unmute your microphone as soon as you're ready. And then I can also present. Hello, Dawnrim.
Hello, hello.
Hello. I hope you're loud enough. I'll just make you a little bit louder so that everybody can really understand you. And chat, you guys say whether the volume levels are fine. So, you see on my stream, and you also see from the draft. Did you join that? Did you join it as a spectator?
Yes, I'm looking at it.
Cool. So what do you say to the draft?
Well, first of all, I have a question.
Yes.
Are they independently picking from each other? Because I see mines on both sides.
Yes, they have exclusively that they can just pick one time the civilization, but they have the possibility of having a mirror.
Okie dokie.
And what do you say to the picks themselves? Like, what do you think they are going to use for what map? Remember, we have the maps Arabia, Golden Pit, Nomad, Mega Random, and Arena.
Yeah. I have a feeling both players might have picked their Arabia Civ first.
Yes, I think so too.
I don't think they were too strategic on that one.
Yeah.
Or maybe just wanted to secure it, obviously. Well, they
Stands
don't
out
have
for-
to secure it, right? Because they can...
Yes. But still, I think so too. Aztecs is just such a solid pick on Arabia. What do you think about the Teuton pick? That is a rather interesting one by Barbarian.
Well, we saw, was it Hookah play it yesterday?
Yes,
He picked it for Arabia, right?
exactly.
But I think Teutons are extremely strong. And I actually think they have been underrated for a long time, even before they got their buff. Their farm bonus is really strong. And now with that extra buff, with the extra melee armor, you can use Teutons pretty much anywhere, at least as long as it's land.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially their farm bonus. They have boom. They are coming along very well with all kind of melee damage. And they are slow, that's true, but you saw yesterday Hookah ruling the pit with it against a Mongol in post-Imperial. And for me, interesting also on the other side, I think the Britain Civ is going to be for the Golden Pit, as yesterday, as well as the Byzantines. I think the Japanese could go Nomad. What do you think is the best Nomad Civ that Barbarian has in store here?
I'm looking at Mongols. It's quite a lot of hunt, right?
Yeah, there is decent hunt, definitely. Yeah, it diversifies a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess you could go Mayans.
You could always go
Take map
Mayans.
control.
Mayans kind of an all-rounder in that civ pick. Where where would you pick the Huns? That is also something I cannot really place.
I honestly have a little bit of issues playing the Huns. I don't have so good experience with them myself, so I think they're hard to play. Obviously, they're supposed to be easier because you don't have the house issue, right? But
yeah,
then you have to. I feel like I have to take advantage of that, so I have to tweak my build orders.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm actually not sure. I've heard you can play them on Arabia, right?
Yeah.
Many people pick them for Arabia. I wouldn't, but Mega Random maybe.
Mega Random could be a good call because you never know, and you can adapt with that quite a bit. Unslacking the post-imperial tax a little bit, but they have their strong points. The good cavalry, their cav archers, and also their Tarkans, which can be quite a surprise. All right, so we have an interesting Civ picks, and I'm just going to tell them that we are actually ready to cast, and I hope you're ready to cast. I guess so. And we then can start to go in a second. So let me just signalize them. We are ready.
Be...
we are ready. I'm sorry to drop in Bavarian.
We're already in game.
Oh, you're already in. Okay, good luck. Sorry.
Yeah, first minute now.
Game.
So they already started. We are looking for the game. And I'm waiting for you until you're also there. We already have interesting civilizations.
I hope I'm able to find the game. I've had some issues with that.
Oh. And Chosen Wonny, thanks for the follow. And we have to end also music there. There's so much to manage. Alright. Found it?
I have not found it yet.
Search for Xylfit. That's usually a name that the game doesn't miss. Okay, until you found it, I will already just talk a little bit about the Civ matchup, about the map that I see, right? And you just tell me when you're ready. I'm at 2 seconds and waiting for you. Alright, so we have BavarianBarbarian in blue here in the front, playing as the Bulgarians on Arena. So we were both wrong. Like, they didn't pick their Arena pick first. Maybe they baited each other into, okay, he picked the Aztec, that's his Arena Civ, and it was not the case. He was going for the Bulgarians, and Xylfit doing the same. He was not going Franks on Arabia, he is actually going the Mayans. So we have the Bulgarians versus Mayan matchup. So potential Mayans, obviously, with the longer lasting resources, with the good archers, with the eager warriors, with the Eldorado tech, which makes them the strongest eager warriors in the game, and also the famous Obsidian Arrow tech, which makes your archers basically siege onagers, if you look at it like that. On the other side, the Bulgarians, having the cheaper town centers regarding the stone, also having the Kreppost and the famous Konig, are a feared cavalry, infantry, and siege civilization. The infantry with the free techs in the men and arms department is also something to be reckoned with when going for the men-at-arms rush. It just makes it so much smoother, so much cheaper in the beginning to do this men-at-arms into whatever you like, or to just go for the drush into fast passer, and the drush suddenly becomes much more deadly once he goes feudally. So we got an interesting matchup here, and if I look at the map, BavarianBarbarian has the 2 stones which you want as Bulgarians in the back. It looks also quite wallable when I look at the wood lines. The first pile of gold, the main pile of gold, is also easy to wall. Just the third pile being in an unadvantageous position, also with the hill in front of his base there. So that could be a potential launching point for aggression for Xylfit. On the other side, Xylfit's base not being as favorable as Bavarian Barbarians. Having the 2 stones in a place that he can wall off easily, so being secure there. On the other side, the first pile of gold already, having a little bit of issues to be able to wall it easily. The third pile of gold being in a similarly unadvantageous or disadvantageous spot. And also the second gold not being in an easily wallable spot. So also potential points of aggression also in field already for Mr. Bavarian Barbarian. Mr. Dawnrim, did you find, did you have luck in the game? Merciful.
I have some technical issues here. I think for the next game, I'll have to Steam befriend one of the players and try to join them or spec their game that way. But for now, I think I have to just rely on your stream.
All right. Then we go from my stream, and you occasionally just drop in. Or can you actually click me on Steam and befriend me there and try to also spectate the same game that I spectate? That would be maybe the last resort here. Or you
not
just...
sure if that works.
I'm also not sure, but we will find it out. I don't have you yet in my friend list, I think. So, see whether I can find you, Mr. Dawnrim. Yes, I have you, and I just add you.
There you are.
Exactly. And maybe if you try to join in now, that would be the last chance. Otherwise, we start the game.
Yep.
So taking a look at the relics, like when I see the relic distribution, I would also say it's in favor of Bavarian Barbarian. So Bavarian Barbarian going a little bit with the hacks here, with the Viper map hacks, and seems that he has the much more advantageous map. Well, of course, on this level, it's maybe a little bit more interesting that the maps don't pre-decide the game so much, because at this level, like really everything is possible. And can be that a surprising feudal aggression or a surprising 1 TC Castle Age all-in is the much more effective decision than actually having the gold forward or having the map like this and like that. Still not counting out the factors, but that's how it is. Xylfit being a player that's really cheeky. I also just played 1 or 2 warm-up matches against him, and he's somebody who plays the map really, really well. Somebody who doesn't think one-dimensional. Somebody where you see that he comes from a StarCraft Zerg background and really knows how to just build your base, how to spread out on the map and really use all the point, whereas people who are just going one-dimensional aggression against him are basically lost in that regard. Dawnrim, okay, so we are just going to do that and we will fix the issue. Sorry for that, folks. It's not Dawnrim's fault. Is the spectator thingies from DE leaving us down a little bit, but we shall not be disturbed by that, and we shall cast it like we go in the game. And Mayans with the different starts go in for the loom immediately, but having the additional villager in the beginning and having the possibility to just start a little bit earlier with going for the sheep here. And I don't think this is an ideal start to go with the core villager house building. What do you actually say to the matchup, Dawnrim Bulgarians versus Mayans? What do you think? Who has the edge here?
This is very interesting. I think I have to give the edge to the Mayans, all in all. Bulgarians don't really have any eco bonuses, right?
They do have the 1 eco bonus with the boom, so that the TCs are cheaper. They save stone there, but despite of that, they don't really have anything that favors them economy-wise, whereas the Mayans, on the other side, they of course have the famous longer-lasting resources with the 15% longer. So you say economy will prevail here?
All else equal, that's the assumption I make. But of course, there are there are spikes, power spikes for the Bulgarians that they can take advantage of. First one coming up in Feudal Age probably, as their men-at-arms click in automatically. So we'll see if that's what's happening here.
I also think that it might be that in Castle Age, they probably have the biggest advantage over the Mayans, whereas later in the game, I see maybe the archers, the halberdiers, and the eagle warriors prevail against what the Bulgarians can bring to the field here. Until now, we don't see a big difference. Actually, we see a little bit of a difference. Barbarian being just a tiny little bit ahead. What do you say? I already talked about the map a little bit. When I show you now the map of Mr. Xylfit and on the other hand the map of Barbarian, do you think I missed something? Do you want to point out something that you think hasn't been mentioned yet?
No, I think the most characteristic feature here is the hill in front of the Barbarian's base. That's a little nasty. Forward siege or something there could be not so nice. It doesn't really directly threaten his main gold, which is good. But that hill in front of your base, not really something you want.
Exactly. On the other side, Xylfit having, in that regard, a little bit of a safer base. On the other side, you see him already walling very much in the front to that little pond he has there. So he is going for a greedy wall. What do you say to that wall?
It's probably nice to wall up, especially as Mayans. You don't want to be disturbed early, right? The faster you can get to Castle Age and either powerful crossbows or plumes, the happier you are. He has 2 stones very close to each other, so he can be denied a stone.
Yeah, that's a fair point. That is a fair point that I actually didn't mention. So whoever, like if the Bulgarians should decide to crab host rush those 2 stones, reactions could become difficult as those stones then obviously are denied. Although I saw Xylfit, like, he has to then reach out on the map, which can be difficult also as one of the neutral stones just behind that. So that could be potentially interesting. Both players don't show any signs of flaming or any other things. Barbarian losing some HP on his scout there. And while the scout is already in a disadvantageous position towards the Eagle Warrior, losing this HP is definitely not something you want. And I also disagree with this here, because the Mayans in the beginning just have the loom already up, and with a half HP scout to go there is probably not what you want. Going towards the war in the north here won't accomplish much because the laming is not allowed. And Xylfit also knows the boars there. Goes for the hunt. Interesting choice here. Speaks actually for going for a fast passer, and also goes for the mill there. So
yeah, I think this smells of a fast castle. Definitely.
The smells definitely of a fast castle. And this is a house. I don't know whether that was actually intended. Oh yeah, it was intended because he was.
I think he needed it. Yeah.
Yeah, he needed it. He definitely needed it. And it is very interesting. Like Barbarian showed some scout control prowess yesterday, also against Mr. Daffo, sniping a sheep and sniping a villager here and there. So he knows how to control the scout and he knows how to make maximum value out of it. Didn't start to wall in his own base, going for the Drush, and I think we will see some Drush man-at-arms aggression as we already predicted.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is something he'll try to time so that he gets his men-at-arms.
So let's see how the scouting of Barbarian looks like. What do you say to the scouting of Barbarian? If you can see it already. I don't know how much delay you have. I'm at the moment live on 9/20/22. I don't know how much delay you have. Maybe you want to give me that information.
Yeah, it's only 5 seconds delay.
Oh, so that is perfect.
Really good. Yep. I think he has seen the most important things. He hasn't seen the gold, obviously, but I think that's what he's looking for right now. So he'll probably see it. And he knows where those outlying villagers taking hunt is. That's probably where he's going. We'll see if the wall comes up in time. I kind of doubt it. Oh, he moved the villagers. Okay.
Yeah, he moved the villagers and he baited him into going there. And there's a villager outside. The walling comes not up. The men-at-arms now hit the wood line. And he has to idle this wood line, so damage is being done. Barbarian just getting housed in this moment, being in feudal age. That is actually a crucial being housed. Goes for the for the wheelbarrow attack here to actually avoid being housed and to not let him being affected too much here. While the men-at-arms are trying to just cause as much damage as they possibly can. They actually do some effect.
Yeah, a little strategic discussion on that. What do you think of that? To pick up wheelbarrow because you're housed when you have only 3 farmers.
Yeah, I think it is something I tend to do as well. I think you could argue it's better than not doing it, right? It also favors just a tiny little bit your woodcutters and your gold, but it doesn't really count there. It's mainly for the farmers. And, well, at least you don't have to do it later. So I think you save later the time and then it becomes worth it. In this moment, I think it is inefficient, but it's better than actually idling your TC, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm asking out of curiosity.
I'm not sure either on the Mafia. It would be just a gut feeling. And Kiki Tofu asks, is Weber really that good with one farm? No, it definitely isn't. But if you see what Bulgarians usually want to go for, it's very food heavy. So in the end, you definitely need it and you want to have it. And to have it will favor you in the long run anyway. So it's probably better to have it and to not idle your TC than to idle your TC in the end there. That would be my argumentation, but I'm not fixed on that opinion.
You'll
what do you
have
say
ask,
to the
Men-at-Arms next time you meet him?
Yeah, exactly. No. What do you say to the Man-at-Arms aggression? How much do you think it has accomplished, and how do you judge the defense that Xylfit has put up until now?
The defense has been good, but I also think the Men-at-Arms have caused quite a lot of distraction. Has he picked any villagers? I've tried to pay attention.
He has 2 kills. So
2 kills. Okay.
2 kills. So it must be at least 1 villager and probably 1 eagle warrior, I guess.
Then I will deem this aggression a success for sure.
Yes. And you see a tower aggression coming in. Tower aggression on the wood line where the 2 stones are a little bit on the east of DC. And are pressuring the palisade wall that Xylfit has put up. Also coming in with some skirms and some archers from the Bulgarians.
I like it. I like it.
I also like it. When you see the...
By the way...
Yep.
Sorry.
No, my bad. You had the point.
I was just commenting on, chat. It looks like the answer is coming. But yeah, Men-at-Arms are free. Upgrade. Automatic for the Bulgarians. So he got those Men-at-Arms for free. Otherwise, yes, you can discuss whether it was worth it or not. But this is definitely worth it.
Exactly. And this is also one of the strong points that the Men-at-Arms get upgraded for free. So you're investing not so much and still get the same out of it. Until you later can maybe easier go into the castle age. And what I like about BavarianBarbarian, he doesn't let his enemy get off with a free fast castle with a naked 1. But what I also like is basically you have the 2 archer ranges against it. And I think the Mayans with their cheaper archers also being able to produce some skirms probably will be able to just pick off those Men-at-Arms and to just be able with this kind of base build to use this base build. But the forward gold that Xylfit has, the free, unfortunate positioned gold, will maybe cost him in the end. So
yeah, it's dangerous.
It is. What do you think? What would you do in BavarianBarbarian's situation right now? He sits on 300 food, 300 gold, and on the opposite side, Xylfit seems to be in a much worse position. Having 27 on wood is definitely showing that the aggression is paying off also in the mine.
Yeah, I think the Barbarian has to make sure he does pretty much constant damage to the mine player. To leave mines alone is something you never want to do. But I think it's time to look towards Castle Age now, because there will not be very effective aggression in Feudal Age anymore.
I also think so. Like, he did his damage, he got into Xylfit's hand, he messed up his economy, and now it's also time to not be over aggressive and to not go completely all in. Whereas we see a further archery range coming up for the Mayan player, maybe he says, well, my fast castle build, or my idea to go very fast castle, is not going to happen. And I'm going to go 3 archery ranges because that is something that my opponent probably will never suspect. And if I look on the other side, the base layout of BavarianBarbarian yesterday was something on Arabia that cost him dearly when he lost to a player that was 200 elo below him and that did a very good job, also as the Mayans. And we kind of see the same thing, having a base layout that is maybe a little bit tight. Or what do you think?
Yeah, it is a little bit tight. He does have some skirmishers somewhere around, doesn't he?
Yes, they are on
so,
the southern side of the enemy base though.
Yeah, they should probably have come home. It's easy for us to say from our bird's eye perspective, obviously, but...
And I like this move here, as you can see. He is able to threaten, like Xylfit is able to threaten Bavarian's woodline to just cause disturbance. Lock with just one archer, very low HP archer, that is just causing so much idle time, and he loves to do that, and he's really good at doing that. And let's see whether he finds this open stone here that BavarianBarbarian really wants to take, because he's already on his way up to Castle Age with 45% already, and doing the fletching as well. And what I don't like about Bavarian's base layout is that he can be threatened on almost every resources by the Mayan archers. So that's what I don't like, and I think a bit more of a greedy wall would have made more resources just so much more secure.
Yeah, he has given himself very little room to breathe here.
On the other side, when we look, Xylfit's base layout is like, give me half the map, I will take it.
Yeah, that is dangerous in its own way, though. There's no way he can get a villager down to wall behind those southern palisades if knights or conics come in at some point. So I don't like that either. I think he should have been a little less greedy and cut the wall east-west to that pond south of his base.
Yeah.
Instead, because then he could probably have gotten there. But we'll see if that'll hurt him or not. Maybe not. Yeah. He might get away with it.
He tries to get a second layer of wall from the archery ranges to the pond, I feel. Just makes secure this second wall is just right in place. And he has idled now the other woodline as well. BavarianBarbarian being in the Castle Age there. And what we didn't touch on this until now, Xylfit is 6 villages in the lead, probably mainly from the Castle Age. And he's also just clicked up to Castle Age. So those 6 villages, he can handle this. But what comes out are knights and the +2 upgrade.
+2 knights will destroy this army if there's only 2 or 3 of them. I think this is the end of the mine raid for now.
This is the end of the mine raid, just taking that one villager with it, trying to get the maximum out of it, and also getting information. And what Xylfit did here is, he got information, he has a second wave in the south, he's still idling 2 woodlines, so BavarianBarbarian is, or should struggle to have to get wood, but on the other side, he has a lot still in the bank. He has 750 wood, he can boom like a madman with the bonus, or he can decide to actually do a proposed push. So, yes. What would you say is BavarianBarbarian's situation, what he should do in your opinion now?
I would go quite aggressive now. I think he has kind of a boot on Xylfit's throat still, in that Xylfit has a lot of skirmishers. With knights, the Bulgarian can do damage, and I think, like I said earlier, that he needs to do pretty much constant damage. So I would...
sorry,
yeah, go ahead.
I think I misread. I think it is actually Xylfit who has a ton of wood. Yes, it was Xylfit who has a ton of wood. He can boom like a madman. but still, like, his enemy also can do the crab host or the town centers. He can freely decide. So still, though reading the resources wrong, the assumption was correct. And he does what you said. He is producing constantly 9s, just being on 2 TCs, and looking what his enemy has. And his enemy, though, has some spears and a lot of archers, and just has the crossbow and the botkin and the fumbling coming in. So we see the typical Mayan crossbow play. Still against the +2 knights, but this amount of army can deal with those knights easily.
Yeah, these knights have to take advantage of speed. But it's probably limited how much more damage they can do alone. Some siege is probably needed at this point.
And look very much like in the south of the map. You have a lone lumber camp being very out there, calculating that this is where Barbarian will never look at, and just take some safe wood, whatever he wants to, and probably spread out later, maybe with a TC, maybe also with flanking aggression there, and hoping that this will go undetected. And now coming in with the crossbows, where the crabos is being built, and this could be devastating actually. If he lets the crabos being built a bit more, this is just so much more stone that it costs, and valuable stone for the Bulgarians, because that's actually really what they want to excel at. And also denying the gold, getting into the eco, denying the crab host, and just getting those picks. So also making sure that he cannot go freely with this aggression. He will do a counter, he will have some counter damage being taken. And Bavarian decides on the other side to go counter aggressive and to say, my eco is safe enough. But his eco isn't safe enough. He loses all the gold. He doesn't have a TC on gold. He has no gold to take, and he just has to hope that this crab host goes up without Xylfit noticing too much, and Xylfit comes back with half the army here. Tries to aim at the villagers that are building the crab host, and it looks, if he sees it, if he pays attention, but he doesn't, he is busy home, so the counter aggression by Barbarian is really paying off, because Xylfit doesn't pay attention, and he could have denied the whole crab host, but he just walked by and will lose a lot of army now, because Barbarian just was heads up and was aware of the situation and made us secure that his gold, at least one of his golds, can be taken, and causing a lot of damage to Xylfit in the meantime.
This is a very impressive multitasking from both players.
Absolutely.
I would say.
Absolutely. And who do you think got out ahead?
I think I would rather be in the Mayans' shoes right now.
I also.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I say that because he has free reign in the Barbarian's base, whilst the Barbarian is kind of being shut out by these pikemen.
And I would also say,
here
if
comes
you
the,
look...
Here comes the knights.
Here come the knights, here come the conics. But also, I would say, is also a big difference. We have a 13 villager difference still. So while has been caused a lot of idle time, there has been caused a lot of villager deaths, we have a TC on stone and wood, we have a TC on gold. So I think the Mayan has secured most of the resources that he definitely wants to take and that he should take. But still,
yes.
like what we didn't touch on actually is that what is really horrible about the Mayan base, about Xylfit's base, is actually the wood lines. He has barely any good wood lines to take, and the one really good wood line that he has is still being towered by Barbarian. So wood could become an issue for Xylfit here. Let's look at his resources. And it is actually, he's at 5 wood, he has 6 people on wood, and he definitely wants more on wood with the Mayans. And that is also the reason probably why he went down here with this lumber camp. It's because his wood lines are so insecure and are so devastating.
Yeah, that sneak lumber camp is so intelligent. I'm gonna put that in my playbook for later.
Yeah, that is something...
But yeah, he is struggling for sure.
And honestly, Barbarian, being 20 wheels behind, but being maybe more on the resources that he in the end needs, because also those pikes are eating wood, the siege is eating wood, the archers are eating wood, everything is eating wood when it comes to the Mayan tech tree. So wood is something, if you can deny the Mayan the wood, then he's really, really struggling. And we also saw that in the Barbarian space, the Scorpion has come out to deal with the crossbow skirm, question, and also a second crab host comes out to secure second stone.
Where do you think the castle will come for the Mayans?
For the Mayans, I think the castle will come defensively. I think it has to come defensively. And I think it should come a little bit to the tower. So to shoot the tower to secure 2 wood lines and the gold and the stone much more secure. And to make the base just so much tighter for any aggression comes. What would you say? Where would you place the castle?
No, I completely agree. I think that's where he needs it. The unfortunate thing about that is he doesn't really have a good hill to put it on. But yeah, he needs to secure resources.
Dealing with the aggression and the conics just being so annoying, with there being cavalry, with the hybrid character being cavalry and infantry at the same time. So you cannot just rely on pikes. You have to send some of your arbs or crossbows in that case in it. So BavarianBarbarian doing what you said, being on 2 TCs, being lower on economy, but never putting or never taking the foot from the pedal and always going in there. And also we see now the castle coming up exactly where we predicted. We are such good casters. But being aggressed by the knights and the conics, and this is going to be rough. Like, he definitely has to protect this position with his army. This is the most important place on the whole map at the moment. With the safe woodline that he has to take, with the 2 stones, with the siege workshop that comes up. There's no place more important than the screen I'm showing right now in the stream.
Yeah, Doubt is showing his beautiful face. It's probably not going to be a Doubt castle in the end, but yeah, that was expensive.
That was expensive indeed, and there comes a counter castle up, so BavarianBarbarian having found his point of pressure that he really wants to go for. Now when we look at the eco, we see that Xylfit has 22 farmers and 5 on gold, and then on the other side we have just 19 and 15. I think actually BavarianBarbarian being grossly underfed on food here, so he needs to add definitely like 10 more farms immediately, because that is what he's relying on, and everything he produces. Oh my god, but on the other side, we see that BavarianBarbarian may be being caused out castle here. The Lord shines upon us, and indeed, the castle will be denied. That was crucial by Xylfit. He did an awesome job there, getting down this tower, and BavarianBarbarian didn't have unit control, losing too many of its units, throwing them away, and maybe being a bit over-aggressive here, and thus he had not map control, and without map control, dropping a castle like this is just too dangerous if your enemy has such an easy time with archers to pick your villagers off there.
Yep. That showed why greed is a deadly sin.
That was very well put indeed. Greed being a deadly sin here, and Xylfit having a game plan, going for obsidian archers and rams against the enemy. So just trying to get it out there, but I do not know whether rams are the right call against the Bulgarians with their strong melee units, and also being able with their siege with mangonels and stuff to just hold against it so nicely. So what do you say to the ram choice?
I kind of like it if he's planning on taking the game right now. Right? Ram is the get out of my game unit.
Oh my god, look at this. Look at this. Look at this. The outpost was super intelligent, and those 2 villagers just snuck by the skin of their teeth. That was actually crazy. Like, super intelligent play here, honestly, by Xylfit. And just not enough. Just having this one range of sight out there, but being aggressive also in the same time in BavarianBarbarian space, again denying him the gold, and the pikemen just dealing with the mangonel so that the archers can't get shot.
Very good unit control.
Very good unit control indeed.
Do you know, did you say Xylfit has StarCraft background?
Yes, he has StarCraft background.
I think it's interesting to look at these 2 players' secondary or maybe primary, I don't know, game. In addition to age. Like, we know that Xylfit is StarCraft, and the Barbarian is League, right?
Exactly.
League of Legends. So he knows exactly when to attack. That is his big strength. He sees the opportunities.
Absolutely, and he also has the good control over singular units being fast with the fingers, being fast with reactions probably. And is this maybe the second outcaster that we just see here? Sorry to interrupt the train of thought there, but we have a huge amount of knights and conics with two mangonels coming up, and Xylfits. And like he denied again the Krapos, so like this is a game the Lord will be proud of, definitely. Because all the villagers are dying, and we have doubt castles and Krapos all over the place. And we will see how this fight ends. I think actually in the end, Xylfit might actually prevail. Oh no, I misjudged the situation
I'm not so
there.
sure, yeah.
I misjudged the situation there. The Conics and the Knights cleaning off Xylfit's army, cleaning off the Rams, and making this a very proper doubt castle, whereas he's walling in the Krapos. So we see that we have games that I would say, despite of the games yesterday being really interesting, this is even exceeding it also in skill and intention. It's really back and forth all over the place and using all the map.
This is extremely back and forth. If this was MemTV's channel, there would be big boats going down everywhere for that play. Xylfit, really, that was quite the throw.
That was quite a throw indeed. There was also both players knowing how to over-aggress, it seems, and both players knowing how to throw a lead, but also on the other side giving credit to just being in the right spot in the right time to both players. And as in League of Legends or in other games, you could see it always both ways. Is it the failure of the one player, or is it maybe the good skill of the other player?
Yeah, you could say that, but sending an army of 15 villagers ahead of your army like that,
okay,
I don't know.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point indeed. And I think BavarianBarbarian in the end will get this Krapos up because this villager don't stand a chance. And now the stone gate without armor will be denied. And we will see this Krapos going up. And I think now I would actually even favor the blue player's position despite being down 10 villagers. So Xylfit being at a good population, but he is floating stone. He has 2,500 stone and having basically no army left. He has 8 military to 27, and the quality of the army of BavarianBarbarian is just overwhelming because those conics, they are really hard to deal with.
Yeah. I would say the Barbarian's biggest problem right now is that he does not have a castle, right?
Yes.
Yes. Do we know if he has been able to pick up stirrups?
I don't think so.
He's never had a castle, right?
He's never had a castle. And we see another castle coming up, or another castle attempt by Xylfit. But still, like already, there are 3 conics up. And those 3 conics, I think they could cause already that even this castle is a doubt castle end. And now the castle is coming up for BavarianBarbarian, and he's pressuring Xylfit a lot.
Yeah. He hasn't been able to take advantage of his earlier imp in the same way as he probably wish he could. For the reason that he didn't have a castle, he hasn't been able to make trebs. But if he gets that castle up now, and denies this, I
don't see a way.
Game here.
I'm also smelling a game here because like the ratings that are going on are massive, and there is just not enough army there of obsidian archers of bloomed archers and pikemen to deal with the kind of aggression that got in here. And well, it's getting cleaned up. So BavarianBarbarian has shown he likes to throw away units, and this is something he actually cannot afford with the conics over a long time, because the Mayans, they can cockroach, and whoever knows Xylfit is knowing that the description, the mosquito cockroach, is just one that if he could be choosing this for an emblem, he definitely would as a player. He likes to cheese and to be cheeky. So I'm really interested how or whether Xylfit, who's definitely in a disadvantage right now, he is 20 villages behind, if he could ever come back, if he can turtle or cockroach his way by. How do you see the chances, and if so, what should he do in your opinion?
He just needs a godlike defense right now, and he has to be on top of these conics all the time and mass produce pikes. If there's one civ that can do it, it's probably Mines. And from what I've heard you tell me, if there's one player that can do it, it might be Xylfit. But if Barbarian doesn't take this game home, he is going to kick himself.
Absolutely.
This is definitely his game to lose right now.
Absolutely. Being with the conics, having the constant production of the conics, just having also so many buildings where you can produce this unit from, having like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 crab hosts and 1 castle. This is just a very solid production that he can take. And
just
honestly, he doesn't use it. He just goes also now for the light cav because he says, okay, I got stirrups and my light cav is one of the best in the game. And on the other side, Xylfit just getting the second defense upgrade for the pikes, just producing pikes, but honestly, this is at the moment exactly what he needs. Also being under heavy pressure by the 2 trebuchets, just pulling down, destroying his castle, and slowly advancing to the eco that has been laying in chambers all the time.
Yeah, chat says what's happening in the bottom. Has Barbarian seen the little base down there?
No, he hasn't. And there's being gold taken, and there's being wood taken, and now he sees it with the scout. Very intelligent by BavarianBarbarian to get out there. I think he must have probably has watched Xylfit's games and learned a lot, because I think learned a lot about how you should take this. And I think honestly, this is going to be over for some minutes.
I wonder if that was the power of auto scout.
No, this was not Auto Scout, because Auto Scout you can just with the first one, and he just produced scouts, and I think he just intentionally produced 2 scouts and lets them run around to see what's going on.
Okay.
The very intelligent, very heads-up play here by Mr. BavarianBarbarian. So, what do you think have been the main issues here for Xylfit, and what should he fix next game? Because I think we all agree this game is like, if this game is not over, no game ever will be.
Yeah, I think this is over. I think he was quite unlucky with his resources. He had resources far forward that he had to defend, and it was hard to defend them. But he also underestimated that task. I think he was too greedy with his walls. He said the walls did really nothing. The cavalry was in his base all the time. As Mines, you don't want units in your base. You want to turtle up and defend. So yeah, I think 2 wide walls and not realizing how much effort he had to put into defending those forward resources.
Yeah, and I also definitely think that power has been a wood issue, and probably it would have been the better call. Just go with the first bunch up the hill, and to try to actually get up the castle there to defend exactly those resources and those wood lines that were so precious for him.
Agreed.
And,
yes.
Yeah. I think he will try his best. He's spreading out all over the map towns, and it's like Xylfit doesn't give up at this point. Xylfit doesn't get up, but if BavarianBarbarian shouldn't lose extremely much time there, I don't see a way back here.
This is over. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think it's worth playing here.
But
of course,
what sometimes people
admire that. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, the effort. No, but like, well, what do you think players you can do? Because sometimes I also see that in League of, I've seen it in League of Legends. People are playing when they know it's already over. In tournaments and stuff like that. But what do you think he could actually use it for? Because I also don't think that he's really playing anymore, right? Oh, he tries to get he's doing the third down castle of the game, trying to get a castle into Bavarian Barbarian's face, but Bavarian Barbarian being too active on the map and not letting the cheese get to him. And I think this is now the moment where Xylfit has to write a GG. Now is like the contributions to the Lord have been at another level this game.
Yeah, he must be pretty happy.
Must be
I've lost count of the doubt castles and Grepost in this game.
Hey Baradin, we already started next game and I'm calling Re.
Okay.
There is one Re, right?
Yeah, there's definitely one Re. Is it
Exactly.
Admin Re?
No, we're playing Nomad and he will rush me.
Hello, guys.
Hey, hello. Yeah,
He
there's
didn't
one
want
Re.
to try to play the map, he wanted to fight Wills.
Okay, there's one Re.
So, yeah.
There's one Re? Okay.
Yeah, one Re.
Yes.
Okay, so Xylfit, use a Re, and we just finished the casting of your first game, just in that second when you came in. And thank you very much for the info. And you guys can take up the second lobby, and we wrap up the first game here with Dawnrim.
Okay.
So, yeah, very interesting. Actually, very close game until the point where the Conics got rolling, and I think like 2 or 3 times there were just also the army losses maybe were a little bit too much. I don't know whether every single archer raid really got what it deserved, and well, definitely unfortunate spawn with the wood and the resources there. So we will see what happens next game. We already heard that Nomad went crazy and one Re got called, and well, I think craziness is going to go on also in the next Nomad attempt.
It seems that way. It seems these are crazy micro players. So this will probably be very interesting and entertaining.
And I think also that what do you say? Where are the strengths and weaknesses of Bavarian Barbarian and Xylfit from what you have just seen in the first game?
In a word, I think the Barbarian's weakness is defense. Again, a league player, he doesn't know what defense is, right? You don't have a base, you need to defend. At least not the way you do it here. Xylfit's weakness, I don't really know yet. I don't think I've seen enough of him, so I think you have to take that one. I think the map did him in this time.
I think sometimes Xylfit gets caught by his cheekiness, and if you catch him doing something like this, then you can take him. Like you have to calculate with the cheekiness and just spread around, and then you can actually damage him so much that I can fall behind. And one time you can overpower him economically, and as we saw here, get into his eco, and from the eco disadvantage, it was really just steamrolling by Bavarian. I would also say that the Conic is just such a powerful unit also against the Mayans. Like once the Mayans lose their army, they have a much harder time dealing with the Conics than actually the Conics have when you lose them, to just be rebuilt and to go forward. So I think we might we didn't see a huge skill difference here. What we saw is a decided game in the end that could very well turn around and give us a really great series. I'm excited as well, and what we shall do is now look finally at the statistics. He had elite Conics to just answer the question of the chat here. And Mr. Dawnrim, you might be already able to search whether you find the game this time.
I will try, but I won't spend too much time on it, so
Yes.
I'll let you know quickly.
I just talked through the statistics. The units killed, units lost here is obviously very much in favor of Bavarian Barbarian. Economy-wise, the food has been more. Would as actually like I just told several times that was the big issue here actually for the Mayan player. Gold collected also quite a difference there in the end there, but much of that I think was a late game. Xylfit in the end still had more map explored than BavarianBarbarian, which shows actually also where he is going for. Goes for the map, goes around. And society-wise, BavarianBarbarian is not the biggest boomer. And I think that is something, if Xylfit could get to his boom and to the full production, that is something where he could shine. We saw Xylfit had a lead throughout the Castle Age, and when it hit Imperial, just before Imperial, just threw it away. And if he just leaves it down Castle Spear and lets the Lord... leaves the Lord alone, he very well might take the games from BavarianBarbarian. And even... So, let's see where we find me. And this time, I don't have to be so aware to not spoil anything, which I'm really happy about. But we can actually just go and we immediately find BavarianBarbarian and Xylfit. Dawnrim, how is it going?
I actually found them.
Bam! That's good.
Yes! I'm on 6 seconds.
I got on 6 seconds. Great. 1, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we got, as the civs, we got Mongols versus Japanese, and we go in 3, 2, 1, and go. So, what do you think of the civ matchup?
Well, not gonna talk highly of myself, but did I say Mongols?
You did. And we also said Japanese, so we predicted the castle position, we predicted the civs. Not on Arabia, but we don't talk about that.
Nah. Actually, I didn't quite follow your countdown there. Where are you now?
I'm at now 1 minute, 1 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Yes.
Good. So we see both players opening up with a dock. What do you say to the dock
that's
positions?
meta, isn't it?
It is meta.
I prefer Barbarian's dock. It's a better position for sure, out in the corner.
I would say that as well. Unfortunate dock actually here by Xylfit. It's not the worst dock. He has 2 deep fish around, so it still pays off. But there definitely could have been better docks. But, well, Nomad, it's also where you hit it first. Sometimes it's better to just build the dock instead of finding the optimal position.
Depends a bit how you're planning to play the game, too, I guess.
Yeah.
Whether you need the food quickly or not.
So the TCs are not in super weird positions. There are until now no big shenanigans going on. But what we see is, in the beginning, Mr. BavarianBarbarian struggling a little bit for food. Not going immediately for the hunt there. Now decided to go for the hunt. Building their house and...
Overlay alert.
Oops! Overlay alert. Thank you very much, Dawnrim. I'm sorry, folks. So, I'm sorry. This is the dog from Xylfit. This is the dog from Mr. BavarianBarbarian. And this is actually the town center position of BavarianBarbarian. And this is the one from Xylfit. I update the score here fast. Thank you very much for keeping track of that. And, well, until now, BavarianBarbarian being a little bit ahead in villager, having 1 villager more than Mr. Xylfit here. How do you like the TC positions of both of them in comparison?
It is fairly similar, but I think I have to give it to Xylfit for the best position because he has the gold behind his TC. Big pile of gold. Barbarian might be struggling for gold.
Bavarian might be struggling for gold indeed. He has it forward and also he has to expand a very lot on the right to actually get any mineral resources or forward. He only has stone. That, of course, for the Mongol is a good resource to have because you want to have this mango dye production later going on. What do you say
for the Barbarian?
Oh yeah,
not good.
It ain't good indeed. And I don't see him building any house. That's a big blunder.
Yep.
That's a big blunder indeed. He still is not building any house. Yeah, he has the loom going up, but he has no house. BavarianBarbarian, come on, wake up.
Yeah, he's try-harding to get his house as part of the wall, but I don't think that's worth it.
And also with 1 villager, you needed to send 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
But do you think, like, let's see whether he actually knows. Like, what does he know? He knows nothing yet. Scouting with the sheep. And let's see what Mr. Xylfit knows. Mr. Xylfit also doesn't know anything quite yet. Also not making many efforts to scout just now. Being fully on wood and going for the Japanese fish.
Yeah, I have my own little rule on Nomad that I don't know if this is smart, but I scout with a villager. And then that villager is dedicated house builder. Because it's so easy to get housed on this map when there's like no real meta, right? You just have to go off the whatever you can find. And it's so easy to forget that house.
Exactly. And I also do the same usually. And I think also that is what Xylfit is starting to go for when I interpret this villager correctly here, building the houses. And
looks like
he is 2 villages up just because he has this double production with the fishing ships. He is 3 fishing ships, 3 Japanese fishing ships to 1. When we talk about the civilizations, Japanese already obviously having the fishing ships with double the hit points and just 2 pierce armor more is just the additional bonus when it comes to the later war on water and just keeping them alive a little bit more. And it's just so effective, like 4 fishing ships are enough to keep your production running in the town center. And he also has the boar. When I look at the resources, like he is... Oh, actually Bavarian Barbarian being already able to go up with the hunt just had the second building now being up to feudal age. No? Did I? Yeah, being up to feudal age. Overlay just got now ready. And Xylfit being very far from it. So that ain't good.
Yeah, I think the Mongol hunt bonus is actually superior to the fish bonus here. For now, but the hunt runs out, of course.
Definitely true, and there was a little bit of a villager fight here, where Bavarian Barbarian's villager met with Xylfit's one, who took just a little bit of extra sheep, starting to build outposts to just see a little bit more on the map, and that is something that is really important to see what is going on, where is my enemy spreading, where are the points of aggression that I can just take, and having a lot of fishing ships already going heavy for the fish boom, building the second dock there, and the dock positions are very nice, and there's just one dock for the Mongol player who goes fully land aggression probably, and he is 75% of feudal age, and his enemy is not even close. Still. Being housed right now again by Xylfit, and I think Bavarian Barbarian even has the same possibility to actually get housed there.
Yep, not perfect builds here.
But it's harder though,
yeah, it is, for sure. I liked Barbarian's position here now. I'm assuming he's going scouts. Yeah, Mongol scouts, dangerous stuff, long line of sight, and there's really no defense from Xylfit, right?
There is no defense at all. The only thing here is actually having as a defense is his TC. On the other side, that is also everything he needs in the beginning, so he doesn't need the gold quite yet. And to deal with the scouts, you just need the barracks and you need the spears. So I really hope that Xylfit, like, he is booming like a madman. And I think if he should get through remotely with this, he's going to be very fast into the castle age. But in his position, if I go for something like a 35 population into feudal age, I would definitely wall up.
Yes. This is a situation where the Mongol bonus with longer line of sight on the scouts will be gold, right? He can send pretty much 4 scouts in each direction on the map and he'll find everything. And then he can just, like, German U-boats, just concentrate where he finds something.
Absolutely. And what I like is, the moment I said it, Xylfit heard the call and also just went up, not just up, but also went for the tiny little wall, which just makes his wood eco so much more secure. And actually, he has a base, or made himself a base, that he can easily wall to a point where the enemy scouts have big difficulties to come in, and he starts to do that. He just starts to make his base that much tighter so that the Mongol will have additional problems getting in there. And the Mongol comes in there with the 2 scouts, and the feudal age is just 15% short still, and this villager is definitely going to be picked off if Xylfit is not... Nope. Not paying attention. And 2...
Are we going to...
Yes,
Go
again. Yeah, exactly. You just wanted to say the same thing. Go ahead, I'm talking so much.
I'm just going to comment on that nature wall that Xylfit has at the edge of the map.
Yeah.
What a map hack.
What a map hack indeed. But what I see is the two villagers that are just going to build a tower. This becomes like a trademark play by Bavarian Barbarian. Just go for the feudal aggression, build a tower, and just set your enemy just so much more under pressure. Although I'm not a huge fan of this tower though, because it will deny like half the wood line. But for the Japanese, it's just so easy to get another wood line up with the cheap lumber cams. It just costs 50 wood. So I don't think this tower is actually paying off, to be honest.
Now, he actually hasn't scouted that wood line. He doesn't know the shape of the wood line.
Oh, he is blind towering that? Oh, that ain't good, in my opinion. Like, I don't like this tower. I'm not a big fan. I would have liked it, like, if you would have scouted and you would have just put it next to the palisade wall, that would have been far better. Now he's going for the second tower that just goes a little bit closer.
Yeah, that's a good tower. But like you're saying, you do that much against the Japanese.
And the Japanese, Xylfit committing to the water here with being 4 docks already strong. Also spreading out to another lumber camp, as we also saw on the last game. So that is also becoming a trademark play for Mr. Xylfit here, spreading out on the map, just going somewhere around. And honestly, those 2 towers have wasted 250 stone that you might want to have somewhere else. You might want to have with the boom, you might want to have with the castle. And you just let your enemy cost 50 wood. Because those scouts are also not accomplishing very much.
Yeah, I think I read the situation wrong, I have to admit. I guess the boom is paying off.
The boom is paying off, but also just because those scouts couldn't do enough. Like, those scouts were not in enough, and Xylfit just walled up in time. He walled up in the north. He just made this choke through his TC with the scouts, and always being aware where the scouts are. So just 1 scout is left, and his Bavarian Barbarian co-worker, well, he is short 7 workers right there. And those scouts and those villagers, well, I don't see them getting in and doing a lot of damage.
No. This is good defense from Xylfit.
So what would you say as Xylfit? What would you do now?
He can just do exactly what he's doing. He's even sending fire ships down to Barbarian's fish. And he's doing the right thing all over the map, I think. He can comfortably go to Castle Age at this rate. They're relying on his fish for food.
Oh yeah, and he is already 70% up, I didn't even see that. What is the unit composition that you would go for as the Japanese here?
Crossbows.
Crossbows, it probably will be.
You dominate Nomad with crossbows. Villagers are so spread out, and even quick walling won't save you, right?
And what do you use your huge food eco for? You have such a huge food eco, and I mean, he has like 12 on water with just so much food that comes in, and what does he use it actually for?
I think that's just like maintaining the flow of everything food. Like, he can build a town center, produce villagers, he can easily pick up upgrades, and then just let the villagers take care of the food and gold. Oh, sorry, the wood and gold for his army. He has a really good setup.
And let's talk about the other player, Bavarian Barbarian here. Having failed the aggression, basically, so not being able to really do something. Also now failing with this 3rd tower that he wanted to do cheekily to the other wood line here, which was basically a good idea, but just comes in a little bit too late, and also against the archers having no chance there. But what do you do in his position right now? When you see my enemy is Castle Age, he has a huge fish boom, my fish is dying. He is Japanese. And what are his options?
Honestly, he is running out of options. Like, the two options you have is aggression or boom, right?
Right.
And aggression doesn't work because he has inferior units, and boom, he is so far behind. I think I would opt for the boom and hope that he will get some sort of viable Castle Age army at some point and then take a favorable fight. I think that's the best thing he can do. Wasting more resources and effort on aggression now is worthless.
I think, like, I would argue, and let's have maybe we can have a discussion about that here. I think he's doing the right thing. He went up to Castle Age, and as we said, he will struggle for gold, for example. He needs to get up somehow. He needs to get up a castle to secure his resources, and then to try to go in any way aggressive, because he is already so far behind that he needs to do eco damage, in my opinion, because he can never catch up to like 5-6 docks and already being 2 TC and maybe soon having a 3rd TC from Mr. Xylfit here, who goes to the berries with his archers and just choking Bavarian out here one by one. And even, oh no, that's a blunder. I see Bavarian getting the double bit X just now, so that's a bit late. Definitely, you want to have that much earlier.
Definitely. One area where the Barbarian could do some proper damage is water, right? If he focused on water, but he probably can't afford it because he has to defend at home. So.
But I think so as well. Like, if you could get up somewhere, a sneaky dog, and just do like three demolition ships. You don't need more to just. Well, it's Japanese ships, so you need 2 demolition ships to destroy them. Japanese fishing ships, once you are up and once you rain water, it's really hard to deal with them. But he does what I thought he should do. He's going for the castle, but like in this situation, the moment Mr. Xylfit sees it, and he sees it, he should see it, pay it. If he pays attention, this is going to cost him much more, but it is going to secure a lot of his eco if this cost. And Xylfit doesn't see it.
He's very lucky there.
He is very lucky indeed. Just, oh no, this castle is going up. And it is up indeed. And now he sees it and he thought, oh no, probably like I should have done some damage there. But he has the siege bridge up. And one Mangonel comes in. And this Mangonel can still challenge the gold all the time. And he's like Mr. Barbarian is really choked into some food, some stone, and some wood only.
Yeah. And Xylfit, yeah, I was wondering if he was going to try to ram push that castle, but it's probably not worth it, right? He's just making a Mangonel, holding map control, and he can just cruise this to Imperial Age and trap that castle down.
And we're getting some Mangonel numbers up, so I'm really interested. Like, this Mangonel shouldn't be left alone because and some Step Lancers, really interesting choice. The Step Lancers are getting countered by the crossbows, right?
Yeah.
But
they're probably meant for raiding.
Yeah, and our Xylfit player still missing the upgrade of the ballistics, and Xylfit just donating to the castle some of his crossbows.
Yeah, he knew about
That's
that.
Unfortunate. Probably so much to keep track of, and those Nomad games are so messy. There's so much to keep track of. And he probably maybe was a little bit busy on his eco. And it's just like minor things like that that can really kill an entire aggression. And there's a nice little army there now with Mangodai and Snap Lancers. But I think if he should be able to pressure this gold, and this is what Xylfit really should aim for, pressure this gold, and you choke Barbarian out of the whole production. He cannot do anything. He doesn't even have a market. But if you leave him as gold, he gets exactly where he wants to with the Mangodai numbers that are just so hard to deal with.
Yeah.
So,
we'll
credit to Bavarian. Sorry. Please.
No, I was just saying I'm curious about the Mangodai, what they can actually do. I think there are too many TCs for Xylfit. I don't think there are much free damage to be had.
I think this map also shows like where Xylfit really excels at, which is like this map control, is running around the map, is securing, like, the base design is always on point with Xylfit. He had his base design really well, and to be able to defend against the Mangudai aggression. And he's also just spreading out on the map so nicely and really using it everywhere. So there's actually no place where BavarianBarbarian could go to sneak some resources. Because just Xylfit is everywhere and he has spread out everywhere. And the only thing I really dislike is that those mangonels and those crossbows just should stay like between the lumber camp and the mining camp of Mr. BavarianBarbarian here and just deny this gold.
Yeah.
But credit to BavarianBarbarian, I have to say. Credit to BavarianBarbarian. He is setting up a second castle there. Wants to get aggressive, really trying to make the most out of the few units he has. And just damaging Xylfit as much as he can to get out of this dire situation. Just chipping away point by point. And I think that actually, I have to say, Xylfit, I'm not a big fan of the way he's aggressing this. He's throwing away so many archers. He's throwing away, like, he's... You don't even have to go for the... Just go for the gold. That's everything you need to do. And what is coming out? Like, you don't throw away your villagers for a castle, please, now.
He should have learned from last game.
But, also nice,
yes.
he's also doubting... There we go. He should have learned from last game, but also he is doubting at the same time the other castle from BavarianBarbarian. And I don't think BavarianBarbarian can sustain at the moment. Xylfit here, he should have the eco to constantly be able to produce archers. And the moment he has more archers, I think he can trade effectively enough. He just has more production because one castle against like 3-4 archery ranges, that should be definitely enough. And this castle, if it goes up, is exactly what Xylfit needs. I would have liked to see the aggression earlier, but those Mangudai, they are rushing back to actually...
Yeah, I'm not sure about this castle. We will see. Does Barbarian have production? Oh yeah, he has Mangudai production.
He has Mangudai production, but those Mangudai are going down. Because those Mangudai don't have any defense upgrades. Because there just weren't the resources there. And this castle will go up. And I think this is going to be a super tough one. Like, even if you just invest more villages, this castle definitely goes up. And he even greedily sets the mining camp, but this mining camp just says, this territory will belong to us, all your base all belong to us, is what Xylfit says. And now it is actually another point where he found a sneaky stone where he could go for, and he found a place where he can produce mangoes, I'm sorry. And what do you say to the little part of the map in the southwestern part of the map that BavarianBarbarian actually still owns?
There's not much in the way of gold there. Well, are you looking at that patch of stone gold berries?
Exactly.
Yeah. Probably won't take long until he's found, though. But that is his last chance, I guess.
This is his last chance, and he just is 50 stone short of actually being able to place a castle there. And if he should place a castle there, then he actually has secure resources. And let me look at Xylfit's resources, like where all his fishing economy is idling. That is a big blunder.
Yeah, Hookah has been doing some commentary on that in chat. Says that the fish eco is quite deceptive, and it really is.
It really is.
It becomes...
I'm struggling a lot of it personally. How are you doing with the fish economy usually on Nomad or on other maps? I'm struggling a lot with it.
Yeah, it's very micro intensive, right? You have to keep track of those boats all the time.
And I think, like, still a lot of credit here to BavarianBarbarian making the most out of the few units and out of the poor position that he's in. And honestly, we didn't even touch how poor the position is. He is 50 villagers behind. And now we have another very efficient dock where the fishing ships can actually be used. And this is GG. You want to transition to fish traps once the closer ones are depleted in stages, Hookah says. But that is not where it comes to. And we have a series on our hands. And Mr. Xylfit takes the game with, honestly, a convincing performance on Nomad. and just, yeah, strangling slowly but surely the map out there and showing that he is a force to be reckoned with.
We can see why this was Xylfit's home map, right?
We can absolutely see it. What do you think? What showed now from Barbarian's play that didn't show before? What were his main mistakes?
I think this was map familiarity. I don't think he has played much Nomad.
And I think now it's going to be very interesting. Do you think Barbarian is going now Golden Pit, or do you think he is going Arena?
I think he's going Arena. I think he wants something familiar after this map that he probably wasn't too happy about. And after his showing against Duffo on Arena, I think that is his go-to map.
I also think, like, if you see the statistics in the military tab, what really shows is Xylfit, like, Barbarian never had a big army. Oh, hello, little one. And what we see is Barbarian's prowess is the military control. He really excels there, and he has a very solid unit control, which shows that, which is shown by actually that he has 63 units killed in opposition to 60 units lost, despite of the big disadvantage that he was in all game long, it felt like. And economy-wise, it shows also, like, he was in such a disadvantage. Like, only stone has been taken more. And the villager high also, like, this was Xylfit's game. Oh man, look at the timeline. This is devastating.
That is a lot of teal.
That is a lot of teal indeed. That is a lot of teal. So, the third game is already on. And let's see what it is. You can already search it if you want to. And
yes.
We have Xylfit. Let's go. And I found it. And indeed, it is Arena. So we started immediately.
I'll see if I can find it here.
I'm waiting at 2 seconds there.
Okay.
Found it?
I thought I saw it, and then I had a misclick.
Oh, I think, like, there's just a message popping up that might be that we have a drop or something like that going on.
Do you hear a lot of background noise?
No.
No, okay.
Was just in between the little one, but no disturbance at all.
I am having problems finding the game now.
Xylfit's game crashed. Okay, let me just clarify how it goes. Xylfit, your game crashed? Okay, I wasn't answering there. So the AoE II, the EGOTs, they will start again, so nothing missed here. But we already see the civilization. So let's see. Probably you don't find it because it's just simply not on anymore.
Yep.
Okay, the lobby is just open, and now they will. So let's talk about maybe I'm sorry, I have to admin here a little bit, but we saw Aztecs versus Franks. Maybe without actually seeing the map, let's talk about what we expect here. How do you see the two civs in comparison on Arena?
I think the Barbarian is going to use the same trick he used against Dafa. I think it's going to be a forward, maybe Monk Siege. And I think the Franks might struggle.
I think one of the things that Xylfit likes to do with the Franks, because they have the cheap castle, is also to castle drop the enemy and go with 2 petards and some streaming knights in. And that is something that the Aztecs can actually defend with the monks fairly well, especially against the knights. But if there should be some light cav mixed in, I think it comes down to unit control. And that is something where I would favor BavarianBarbarian at the moment, because BavarianBarbarian just showed that his micro and his unit awareness is really on point, whereas Xylfit, I think, is the better macro and map player. BavarianBarbarian is definitely, is probably the better military player from what I've seen so far. Would you agree?
I agree.
Cool. Yeah.
Nothing to add.
Nothing to add, indeed. So, they are restarting the games, and until that happened, guys, I'm doing to do myself a favor and my blood sugar a favor. I'm going to play a little bit of background music, and we will be back in 3 minutes when the games are continuing. All right, and Dawnrim, you can also catch yourself something to eat, something to drink, and we're going to be back in 3 minutes.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. See you in 3 minutes.
Are we back? Another drop. Oh no. F indeed. Yeah.
Guys, we seem to be in a longer pause, so 2 times game crash there.
So we're on a 1-1 now, right?
Alright.
I think we might be looking at a 5-game series here.
I think we do. Those 2 players are really close to each other. And honestly, it makes me fear for the final because both are just looking really strong. And just really on the top of the intermediate level that we just put ELO-wise.
Yeah. You're worried for your own chances? Is that what you're saying?
Of course not.
No, of course.
Yeah, Barbarian, I hope that he just restarts.
It's interesting to see the 2 styles in these players.
Absolutely.
It's clear that they have a slightly different approach to the game.
And I also like how the games are turning out very different. Actually, considering the map and also how the random map layout has been playing out or something like that. So it was really showing that they are also quite aware of their weaknesses and strengths themselves in picking their home maps and stuff. And also just the picking of the home maps showed already the difference in style there.
Certainly.
And what I think as well is there are very good chances that every player takes down his home maps, which would favor at the moment BavarianBarbarian as he just took the Arabia map. And it will be also very interesting how a mega random would play out, because I think it's just really so unpredictable. Like sometimes you don't even have a scout or something like that. Or I also had kind of a migration map on Mega Random, so it's really the capability of adapting there that is tested, and it will be very interesting to see who is actually much better there, whether somebody is more framed in his mind than the other one. And on the other side, it's also interesting how do you actually adapt as Xylfit, who has to take now one of BavarianBarbarian's home maps to take this serious. How does he analyze his playstyle, and how does he try to identify weaknesses that he can actually exploit? Like, what would you say from your perspective? What are weaknesses that Xylfit could exploit on either Arena or Golden Pit, which are both fairly closed up maps?
I think even though Arena is probably the Barbarian's favorite map, I think that is where Xylfit has the best chance to do it. I didn't give him the highest of chances when you asked me previously, but I think Golden Pit is really disadvantageous. It was Golden Pit, right? Wasn't that the last pick of
Yeah.
Barbarian? Yeah. I think that's really disadvantageous. It's all about the center. With the gold, of course, you can do things on the flank, but that's really hard. You really need a solid plan to make something happen without the center. So I think it's going to be rough for Xylfit if he doesn't take Arena.
We have a little problem in our hands. Xylfit's internet is down.
Oof.
BavarianBarbarian also asked me, how does this work now? To be honest, like, I would not like to give admin win just yet, because it is, like, what I said is, it is not, in the rules it says, if it's not default, then admin reuse is a bit difficult, like it's not automatic at least. Because it's not like he is intendedly not showing up or whatever, but it is actually that some other reason. With serious reasons, either a delay can be arranged or admin win has to be given if it's not the player's fault that caused not appearing in time. It says in the rules, and that's how it is. And I would say that at the moment we would wait a little bit whether Xylfit actually has a chance to get back online, and it would be such a shame to get a funder in the way of this great matchup, because it was super entertaining until now and really back and forth.
I guess if this drags out, we could be a little flexible and
just do hookah.
Between.
Yeah, and just do hookah with me and try to continue also the series at another place or at another time. He has no internet connection. All right. I think that is probably the best idea here. To just go for hookah and me. To just draw it out and to start a best of 5 series right there. There is a specialty about that series that will happen because Dawnrim, by the way, this is a streamer tournament and you're streaming at the moment?
I'm not streaming at the moment, no.
You're not streaming at the moment. Do you actually have a stream that I can give a shout out to on Twitch?
I actually do not. I'm in this depressed state after Mixer died, rip.
Oh yeah.
I haven't quite made the transition. I do have a YouTube though.
Cool.
.com/Dawnrim, where there's some content, so that will have to be my shout out.
So give Dawnrim some love at youtube.com/Dawnrim channel, and Angel Faust, that would be great if you just take over the casting for the series, and actually then Dawnrim, Angel Faust will just come here and you guys will cast on his channel, because to cast my own games is just a little bit stupid.
Hello, sorry about that.
Hey, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, are you back? Are you back on?
Yes, but I'm not sure if lightning strikes twice, you know? No, but yeah, all of a sudden my game froze, and I was like, can you pause? Something seems to be weird. And then I heard a big, like thunder.
Oh, hey, Kiki. Sorry to interrupt.
And my router was dead, so I had to reboot it.
Oh, we had some technical difficulties because Mother Nature doesn't want us to play the best of 5 here to the end. But Hookah, don't worry. If Xylfit is online, we try one more time. And if it doesn't work right now, we have to postpone the match.
Yeah, there is a save file, right? So we can jump into the save file.
That would be great.
I heard Barbarian paid the clouds.
Should I host the save file, or do you think he wants to? They should.
Let us ask him. I will just go and ask him.
Yes, he should have made us.
Hey, Bavarian, do you just come up for a second to discuss, because Xylfit is online again?
I'm coming.
Or 246.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, I dropped 246 in the game. Either we restart or we go from the save file, whichever.
What do you prefer, Bavarian Barbarian? I leave that to you.
Well, we can't do from the save file, can we?
Sure.
We can?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, because I already like checked the replay.
Oh,
well.
okay. Well, then not.
Yeah.
Good point.
Also, you shouldn't check replays from games within the tournament while the tournament is going on. But yes.
All right,
Well,
fair enough. I guess
okay.
you got a point.
Yeah.
Then-
Example, if I play Persians and I delete my TC and run forward, now you know for next game that that's my plan on that map. You know, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Fair
okay.
point.
Yeah.
Point taken. And I don't think there were no bad intentions. Pretty sure.
No.
How much did you pay the cloud?
Yeah, how much did I think? I don't know. But yeah. I really
Okay.
don't know how to do the trick.
Then just do another one,
Yeah, he's
and
got
we will be able to continue the series, which I'm really happy about because it's an awesome series. You guys do very great, respectively.
I'm trying hard.
Xylfit is as
pretty
well.
messy.
Yes. It is super entertaining. Dawnrim and me have a lot to talk about.
Uh-oh.
Well, Barbarian, do you wanna host a new?
yeah. I invited
Okay.
you, but
Okay. Wait. Yeah, it's a. Can you do it again? Because it is
Yeah.
like.
Okay,
don't know,
I
Bart.
push you guys into the respective channels, right?
okay, thank you.
See ya.
Good. So that's a good one.
It must have been all the sacrifices to the Lord. It paid off.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. So Angel, then I'm sorry that I've called you up, but the moment the series is over, if you could take over there, that would be awesome. Or do you have plans today?
I do have other casting as well. Really hoping I can fit both.
Would be great. If not, then we also have Chuck Rambo, who's casting the games, and of course you will see my POV on this stream here. And unfortunately, Hookah is not a streamer, but still, at least my POV and one casting will definitely be provided in any case for you guys. So let us see. They are online. There they are. Just a second, and we join. Yes. Okay, so nothing's wrong anymore. We just fixed it. My girlfriend just proposed that she will cast in the manner of, oh, you have a sheep there, that's cute. So, but
Let's
yeah.
do it.
that won't happen this game. So, game is on. That's good. We have Arena again, and Aztecs and Franks. I'm pausing at 2 seconds. Do you find it, Dawnrim?
Looking.
What I have to say that the first game crashed is really a shame for Xylfit, because he actually had a great map. And of course we fixed the overlay. Who would ever forget the overlay?
I think the gods gave all their favor when they got him back online. Nothing
Wow.
left for me.
So you find it?
Your no. I'll stick to your view, like first game.
Okay. We'll do it exactly like that. We start on 3, 2, 1. and go. We got... Sorry, I have to kill the music there. And we have Franks versus Aztecs going on. Bavarian as the Aztecs, famous for their smush on the arena, good with their monks. The Eagles obviously very good skirmishers, and Barbarian has an awesome map. I just have to say that. He has 2 golds in the back that are very, very safe, which is exactly what he wants. He has 1 stone, 1 neutral stone even in his back base that is extended. His 3rd gold and 1 stone is outside and 1 stone is forward, so that's not ideal. On the other side, Xylfit with the Franks being famous for nice doesn't have a bad map either. The problem mainly for him is the 2 forward golds, which could be pressured after a while by a smush. But he has 2 stones in the back, also a good way of extending his base in the back as well. And so I think this is fairly okay, and the relics are distributed kind of fairly, I would say. Maybe slightly in the favor of... Actually, no, there's no real favor. It's just 3, but a little bit further from the walls for Xylfit, and 2, but very close to the walls for Barbarian. So I wouldn't say there's any particular favorite when it comes to the relics. Yeah. So Xylfit is a guy that likes to go with Franks for the cheap castles and likes to go castles into 2 petals, into the streaming knights, into the enemy base. Whereas Barbarian also seemed to have a very good plan regarding the smush, and he showed it yesterday against Dafo. And it is his home map, let's not forget it, so he knows probably quite a lot of stuff that can go on in Arena. I took away now a lot, but what do you say is, if I compare those 2 strategies that we saw in the past from those 2 players, who would you say would have the upper hand in your opinion there?
I think the streaming knights is easier to pull off. Smush is very micro intensive, right? But executed well, I would say the Smush is better. You need some pikes to protect it against light cav, but apart from that, I think the counters are more there for you when you go the Smush. Cavalry can easily be stopped.
What I find interesting about the Xylfit build is that he puts late, or much later, like he had 3 on wood, and he puts now the 4th on wood when he pulls in the 2nd 4. That's much later than most build orders recommend usually. That's actually interesting that he comes along with that. It just gives him that little bit of extra food that might make it able for him to get up maybe a tiny little bit earlier, or maybe it's just a difference of style. I don't know. What do you think of that? Is that something that gives him an advantage, or is it just a difference of style?
It might be a matter of efficiency, yeah. I have a feeling that with 4 on wood, you float a little bit. It's like a safety net. And going 3 is... well, he doesn't really go 3, right? He puts it on just a little bit later. I don't know if it really matters that much. But I guess it's a slight advantage, yeah. I don't think you really need all that wood that you get from 4 right away.
Probably right, so really trying to make the most out of everything. Despite of that, well, it's the beginning of Arena. Xylfit being on 17 villagers and just being like 1 villager behind, actually. Something died? No, nothing died. So, the Aztecs? No, why is he 1 villager behind? Was he a house? Something like that? Or does he have loom? He doesn't have loom. So that is interesting to be 1 villager behind there.
Is he a whole villager behind? Like production time-wise?
Basically.
And that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
I wonder if he just forgot producing. I didn't notice a housing.
Me neither. And I think I actually paid attention to that. So, yeah. Advantage Barbarian. Maybe also, let's not count out that this stuff with messing with the router and having to start 2 or 3 times can get into your head, and especially, well, it's the home map of Bavarian, and it's not Xylfit's home map. And I know he is familiar with Arena. It's not like it's a map like Nomad that some people, including me, basically never play. But can get into your head a little bit, and sometimes you just need to get the excitement of the tournament a little bit out of your head there to really perform. So it could be a slight performance issue, and this leads now to Bavarian being up to feudal age already with 24 villages. And Xylfit now just having 24 villages when the enemy feudal age was already at 25%. And going up. Wants to go up with 26 villagers. Speaks for the castle drop that he wants to go for. I'm sorry, I just have a little hiccup there. And I think this could be really dangerous because, well, the Smush needs also a while to produce. You need to build a monastery, you need to build the siege workshop stuff, and it gets mostly countered, in my opinion. Most effectively, it gets countered by a good base layout and by a castle or guard tower or something. Which brings me to the point. The base layout of Xylfit. I'm not a huge fan. I would have put those houses a little bit forward to actually start by like additional wall, because I think like he saw yesterday what Barbarian did with the Burmese on Arena, and he can expect probably the same. So I'm not a big fan of what feels for me, maybe a little bit of lack of preparation.
Yeah.
How would you wall? Or do you agree or not?
It would be prudent to wall, but like relying on being broken here, I don't know if you can really do that. I think you have to try to stop whatever's coming your way out on the map, especially when you are the more mobile Civ. Try to catch the smush that can be expected before it really starts going. Walling a second layer, that's what you're suggesting, right?
Yeah, exactly. Walling with buildings, the second layer, and where you're not walled the second layer, you have the castle. That was my suggestion there. But
I mean, you need the buildings anyway, so why not, I guess.
well, on the other side, I don't see Xylfit going for the castle build. He goes for stable blacksmith and probably wants to fight for the relics, to not give the Aztec 5 relics, where the Aztec is already at 50% castle age. So it will be tough, but he can at least get some scouts out, where the Aztec player Barbarian now getting up barracks here to probably produce some spears to deal exactly with that, because he expects that. So this is the little chess game that is going on in the first few minutes of Castle Age on Arena. Who goes scouts, who goes monks, who goes spears, and what amounts exactly.
Yeah, this is such a mind game. It's quite nerve-wracking actually to play Arena. Everything is blind and you don't know what the other person is doing, and you just have to make as qualified a guess as possible to what is going to happen.
What I like occasionally, when you have the feeling that an enemy is actually really going blind. Oh, we see Eagle Scouts coming. We don't see spears yet. We see Eagle Scouts coming.
He wants those relics, I guess.
He wants those relics. And the monastery expected. And the question is, do you have the resources? He doesn't have the resources for Siege Workshop, so the smush will happen a little bit later, leaving a little bit of time for Xylfit to react. And the smush is a Siege Monk Rush, so you have Siege that is destroying building, and Monks that deal with the units that basically come in. And it is really hard to defend once it gets rolling and you get to convert several units at the enemy. This has, because every conversion swings the balance by 2 units, the one produced by your enemy, which is lacking, so basically has died, and the one that you got additionally, which makes it so strong, especially with the Aztec monks who get plus 5 HP for every research technology that they have. So Xylfit just now reached the castle age. The eagles have been upgraded to eagle warriors, so I don't think we actually have a siege monk push at our hands. We have oh, what an RNG luck! Did you see that? Like this monk, I would have understood that he basically converts him, but to convert him before he got even the second hit in is what? Is wow. And
that shouldn't have happened.
That shouldn't have happened. And this is something at the moment I see a huge advantage here for the Aztec player on the map. And Xylfit starting to produce a scout as well. I'm curious, like, yesterday we had one arena game where the enemy had 5 relics, and it was still won by the other player, which happened to be me. But the question is, should you really let the Aztec have 5 relics? Oh, look at this. Xylfit drops by with the scout, probably a Bavarian just being busy on the other side, leaves the scout run, and the scout finds the monk and kills it. There's 100 gold down the drain, but the scout cannot take on the eagle warriors. And he even finds maybe he's on the way to search for the second monk. And the question is, will Xylfit be in time to actually, he won't find it, but will he be actually in time to react to what is coming here, which is the eagle warrior massing that actually happens here by Mr. BavarianBarbarian.
Yeah, I think Hookah called it here a little earlier in chat that this is going to be an eagle push. Obviously, it's clear now, but it's kind of a playbook turnaround, I guess. It's not going to be a break with Frank Cavalry. It's going to be a break with Aztec Eagles.
Absolutely, and we have one knight at the scene here, trying to deal with the scout. And the question is, what do you really do as a Franks against Eagles? You obviously have the throwing axemen. You still also have the champions, if I recall correctly. Yes, you do. And you have also the full upgrade, so you have something at your hand, but you don't really want to go champions against the Aztecs, as they just have the big infantry prowess +4 infantry attack of the Garland Wars. And now comes delayed still a siege workshop up, so it's a siege monk push in the end with a lot of eagle warriors in behind, 11 eagle warriors, and I don't see yet anything that Xylfit has that could deal with that.
No, this looks dangerous. And does he even have... No, he doesn't have stone for a castle. Though he has 7 on stone, so it won't take long, but he seems a little ill-prepared.
And what we have here is actually what we saw 3 games long, right? Barbarian going aggressive in the first, and Xylfit trying to boom up, whereas Barbarian is full 1TC aggression here. Mr. Xylfit tries to boom behind it, and it's really just a question how well can Xylfit defend. Hookah trying it, calling it already over, but I don't like that he rams the wall behind the tree. Okay. So this is something, and he gets the castle up. This is exactly what you need to do. You need to get the castle up, because now you see it's the same siege monk push. Same as with Davor. Exactly. He tries to. Why does he ram against? Just trying to get the castle up here. He has to wall the access castle. And now what he does well is actually what becoming the best yesterday. Didn't do very well against me. He uses the monk to just click all the time on those villagers so that they cannot finish the castle. And now he's in. But what he has, he just has the eagle warriors, and the eagle warriors cannot get inside. Or can easily get walled off, and he would have needed a mangonel to actually deal with that and to deny the castle getting up, and so he cannot deny the castle getting up, and the castle once up is really a big threat to this aggression that he has so much invested in, because keep that in mind, what you have here is like 18 eagle warriors, which is 900 gold plus 400 gold plus another 130 gold. So this here is far over 1,000 gold, 1,500 basically, that he has invested into this aggression. And if that aggression fails, it's just such a big investment that is going to be thrown. And the reaction with the castle, and also having the luck with having the right unique unit at hand to deal with the eager warriors out of the castle, is just a good. It's just so helpful here by the Franks. How do you like the setup now that the castle is up Dawnrim?
I'm just in shaking my head mode. That wall attack with the tree, it might have lost him. Well, of course, it's too early to tell, but that might have lost him the game.
I think so too. It might have lost him a lot, and especially like he is now coming forward with the Rams. There's another castle, and he won't accomplish very much with it, I think. And the problem is he did the same actually against Dafo yesterday, that he attacked the wall that is behind the tree, and it is really hard. And now the second castle tries to get up, and if he should get up,
okay.
Oh no, is he getting the conversion of the knights? Oh, lucky. He is getting in here. And the eager warriors are there, and the throwing axemen are definitely not enough yet. But the eager warriors are unupgraded. The eager warriors do not have any defense, and thus they can actually die against the castle still fairly well. And the monks are dead, and there is still throwing axemen streaming out of the castles. And the first ram is dead, the second ram is dead. There are just 2 rams left. There's 1 knight there, and the TCs are shooting. Everything is shooting. 1,500 gold. Remember, guys, and there is a lot going down. There are some idle villagers, so BavarianBarbarian having full attention on this aggression, because if that should succeed, that is everything he really needs in this moment. And this castle being repaired and getting also the eagers getting shredded. So he's being super aggressive here, and I don't know whether it really pays off in the end there, or is it whether it is not over aggressive. He is committing fully. He has lost everything, and in the end, what has Xylfit really lost? Like, he has 75 villages to 39. The second Townsend is coming up, and he has lost just so much gold. 5 relic Aztecs is nice, but it doesn't mean you have basically a black heart, right?
Yeah, this doesn't look good for the Aztec player. Yeah, relics, nice, but your base eco is more important than relics, and Xylfit has a huge eco advantage at this point, right? Yeah, oi, oi, oi. 75 villagers to 41.
So, Uka pointing out 5 relics being 200 gold per minute is absolutely massive, that it is indeed. What I would do in the case of Xylfit at the moment is definitely stop the knight production. The knights don't do you anything. They're just being a massive target shield or target for the monks, yes. And probably boom up a little bit and get into, like, just take a second and think, what is my unit composition to be here? And maybe thinking, okay, like, do I need onagers, or do I need skill, or like, actually I'm myself lost a little bit. What would you go for here?
Yeah, it's hard against these monks.
It's harder.
I think the Axemen are doing all right for now. Light Cav?
I think a light cav
throwing that out there.
A light cav throwing X-Men combination is what really could be it, especially also considering the gold that is going to be used, and knowing that you have to trade very gold effective against an Aztec that just has 5 relics, right? 5 relics.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if Xylfit is tunnel visioning into knights now, or if he's actually doing light cav out of those stables.
Let's look, and we got the light cavalry coming. So
Good.
no tunnel vision here by Mr. Xylfit, and doing exactly again what the procasters predicted. He also has 2 petards. What do you think he could actually use those for, or he wants to use those for?
I think they were for Rams. Right now, I don't think they have a role to play. Maybe a break. Maybe. We'll
Maybe
see.
a break. I think what he doesn't know is how expanded his enemy is in front of him, and that he has buildings there. And what I also like is that he's just expanding. He's so cheeky. Look at that expansion over in the north of his base. Just secure this neutral goal to just go out there. And now this castle here, if he gets this up, oh boy. And he's losing a lot of gold. And yeah, I keep... it is hard. This is such an issue, like Xylfit really trying to snipe those monks, not succeeding in that, but afterwards he has just those throwing axemen who can shred everything that has been just converted, and especially also the Eagle Warriors right behind there. And the defense and upgrades are all in, and the Eagle Warriors still don't have any defense upgrades, so they are falling like flies, and they are just enough throwing axemen around, even to those really beefy monks that are already up at 55 HP, to just snipe them one by one, and those little conversions just don't do enough anymore against the throwing axeman. And he seems to be able to get that castle up because it is really lacking any kind of ranged units. And the monks are just not enough to deny the castle. And the castle will deny the gold, the castle will deny the second TC by the Aztec player. So despite of having those 200 gold per minute, it's just throwing away units, Mr. Barbarian. And it shows. This is actually a huge problem for him. That this is something... Yeah, I praised him actually for his military control, but this is not looking like military control. This is looking like being too cocky, being too confident, and just throwing the units into Mr. Xylfit's base here. And he has already 3 castles, 3 productions for the most important unit, whereas actually Mr. Barbarian is down 45 villages. And you see also in the points that Xylfit just seemed to have, in the end, made the right decision here, and the aggression didn't pay off, although the map of Xylfit was less than ideal at best.
It comes down to that segment of wall. This was an all-in, right? An all-in
Right.
that gets stuck by a wall. It's not gonna work.
Exactly, like this tree was planted by the most but by Gaia really luckily. No, it was not lucky, it was actually just pure mistake. Just wanted to put something funnier, then really didn't work. But
When the gardener wins you the war.
yeah, you see, I'm so glad that at least one of us is funny. So
I don't know.
So, still queuing the Eagle Warriors, despite the counter being so hard out of the... Also, I want to criticize the lack of adaptation here by Barbarian. He should have adapted long time ago, into crossbows or something similar. And now Xylfit just gets out on the map and getting castle for castle up, and it is just devastating to watch, to be honest. And the Patards are coming close to the walls, and they are being scouted by the Eagle Warriors, where the Lightcav obviously isn't the match for the Eagle Warriors. And the Patards really want to go in, and the scouts and the Eagle Warriors falling around. Patards, and the gate is down. But the villager already comes in to repair that and to say, no, you are not coming in here. I'm just putting 2 houses there, and you have to have your units right behind that if you want to get in here, Mr. Xylfit. It's not that easy quite yet. And let's not count out Barbarian just yet. He just has 1 TC. The second TC ain't working, so that is a big blunder. And he is at half the villagers. He still has those 5 ranks and always makes that huge impression. In the end, he is 20 villagers down. Maybe he can pull up something out of his sleeve. He has a lot of experience on Arena. That's why he's chosen that as a home map. So let's see what we could do. The second TC is going down right now. Do you see any chance for Barbarian to come back on this, to come back from that?
There is a chance. He needs to find a way to hold and eventually make the relics count. I think that is his only chance. He is an Imperial Age, so is this possible? But somehow he needs to buy the time to get up to par on eco and not die.
I really dislike that he went for Elite Eagle Warriors here. I really dislike it. He gets the upgrades, yes, Eagle Warriors are strong, also with Garland Wars, but Xylfit, he gets the special tech for the Throwing Axemen. He even just had Vanilla Knights, which was exactly the right move, to just have some Knights here, just have some cavalry there to snipe the monks. You don't need any upgrades, but they did their service, and he just has exactly the right unit composition to deal still with everything that Mr. Bavarian Barbarian here has. So he has a huge amount, and he is adding more barracks. I disagree with that completely. What are those Elite Eagle Warriors going to accomplish? Those Throwing Axemen will shred through them like nothing. So this, I think, if this game is really lost, like that the aggression failed, I understand because of this tree and stuff, but it doesn't mean that your game is lost, and the game in the end will be lost by having a stubborn unit composition there.
Yeah.
And Hookup is putting it out there, blinded by the relic's shimmer indeed.
Would you have wanted Arbalest here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Arbalests and some helps.
Yeah.
Pikemen, obviously because it's Aztecs, but like Pikemen are sufficient against those, and you have the Elite Eagles if you should ever go back like to light cover, something like that, and you need the Arbalests, and you also have Onagers. Like, do Onagers against this unit composition. The Throwing Axemen fall against Onagers really, really easily. What do you say to Xylfit's map taking at the moment? Like, is it sufficient for you, or should he be, in your opinion, even more aggressive?
No, I think this is good. He's in the lead. You know what Viper will tell you? If you're in the lead, stay in the lead. Don't throw it away. So he still has gold for quite a while yet. So he doesn't need to throw this. It's not that much on the clock.
I think he also might not really understand how dire the situation for Bavarian Barbarian is. He's 80 villages behind. 80. That's a villager count where many people even stop to do villages because they just think, well, I have enough now. You shouldn't stop at 80 villages, don't get me wrong. But he's 80 villages behind. He's getting housed right now. You have 180 population against 110. And now the petards finally moved in there. Finally got the gate open. And there's... Oh, no ballistics. The Throwing Axemen also want ballistics. That is an upgrade that really should come in. But also the monks been thrown away. So the unit control prowess here, maybe not there with the monks that just ran in. That just tried to get in to the cavalry, and the cavalry are just causing havoc in Bavarian Barbarian space. And the Throwing Axemen are just standing there, and all the army is going to die.
Such a smooth move from Xylfit. Just let that army from the Aztec do its thing and go straight for the base. Perfect, and then force the Aztec's hand.
Maybe you know this. Does ballistics affect the Throwing Axemen?
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I don't think it does.
You don't think it does? Ah, okay. So no. Another correction by the chat. Thank you very much. Wow. Wow. Yeah. We fought, and Hooker well fought. This is GG. Because the aggression looked so intimidating with those 11 Eagle Warriors, the monks, the siege. And then he killed the wall behind the tree. That is definitely an upset. Hello, Duffo. So, Xylfit just got to your guy, to your enemy, really good on Arena. And honestly, that was unexpected for me. I was expecting that Xylfit has to somehow get it on Golden Pit. And Arena will be something that Bavarian Barbarian will smoothly take. So, yeah, this is an upset, definitely. Also, putting Hooker is putting it out right there. It's something that Xylfit is really good at. He is not panicking so easily. So, what amount, like, how do you think the mindset actually played into Bavarian's like disadvantage or into Xylfit advantage? What do you say from your experience there?
There might have been some psychological effect here, yeah. I think the Barbarian was stressed out here. I think
Do
he felt
you-
like he felt the pressure.
From which point on? Do you think from the very beginning because he was in
Yep.
such a lead? Okay.
I think it was pressure from the beginning. I think the mistakes he did, it wasn't just the wall segment. He also lost precious time as he was preparing his attack. He got housed for at least 30 seconds, or well, let's say 20 seconds, which is quite significant, right? When you're getting your your barracks up and producing eagles. It was small things like that that he should have avoided, and that he did smoother yesterday with the Burmese.
Absolutely. And Xylfit being very cool-headed, they're not panicking, getting the first castle up, getting the second castle up. And I would also say there are several mistakes that I still want to point out by Barbarian. Still saying that he did great. We were at a point convinced that he's actually going to take it. The initial approach, great. There was just some minor execution errors that we think cost the game. Not just the tree and the ramming, probably also with with having just one mangonel there would have been much more advantageous. Like collecting like 2 rams and one mangonel there to actually be able to shoot the villagers behind where the castle was. Like even when he was through, he couldn't get in there and just had the monks to delay the castle a little bit, but couldn't double down on that in the end with the lack of mangonel. And I also think the unit choice in the end was a bit poor. He was going helps in the end, but that was definitely far too late.
Yeah.
So
he was relying on monks, I guess, to cover his approach. Hard to know if it would have worked.
He was relying on monks, and it could have definitely worked. Like you saw definitely some shining moments in Barbarian. I hope actually now when we come to Golden Pit, which is the last map, we'll take another game from Xylfit so that we get to the 5th game. But we see that Xylfit is an enemy that you should not count out so easily.
Yeah, I was very impressed by his turnaround there, or taking advantage of the fact that he could stop the Aztecs for a little bit. Just gave him a little bit of breather, and he took full advantage of it. Did exactly the right thing. Very impressive.
Also very effective trades, like he needed to do them against the 5 relic Aztec. Let's look at the statistics here. So we have military-wise 226 units against 111, and no unit of Mr. Barbarian was below 50 gold. So what you see here are like 5,000 gold just down the drain immediately, what has been done. And from the units lost, 111. Some were knights, some were light cav, some were throwing axemen, where if we wait a second, we can make effective throwing axemen. I'm not quite sure the cost yet. I don't want to put it out wrong there. Whoop. Franks.
I don't think they're terribly expensive.
They're
like,
not expensive. 25 gold.
no.
Right. 25
Yeah,
gold. And so very gold efficient, extremely gold efficient. So you can say
they're like a
basically-
ranged champion.
Exactly, the
Very
range
good
champion.
unit.
And it was honestly a little bit of a Civ advantage there that I also want to give to the Franks with. I think what you could learn from that game is with Aztecs against that, you maybe shouldn't go with, like, you definitely shouldn't go with the Eagles. You need something else to support your siege monk push, probably crossbows, because if you go Eagles, it was really lucky by Xylfit in that regard that Barbarian went for that, because in the end, he just didn't just use the castle for stopping the smush. He also could use the castle for producing exactly the counter unit. So he didn't have to go in several different directions there. Economy-wise, it's devastating. Absolutely devastating. The gold collected is the only thing Barbarian had. And the relic gold was 5,000. So all the relic gold completely killed by the unit amount already. And villager high,
Villager
60.
high, yeah.
Oh
That's
boy.
just- yeah.
That's just gross. That is just gross. So yeah, that one big fight at the second castle, I think, that was the moment where Barbarian lost the game finally. Yeah, great. Great job by Xylfit. Good effort by Barbarian, and he really has to take his head around to get a cool head to think about, what did I do wrong? Where was I maybe stubborn? and to in the end think like, okay, maybe, just maybe, I should be a little bit more flexible there and analyzing the mistakes and getting cool-headed into the next match will determine whether it will be short or long right there. I'm absolutely excited. I thank everyone who's tuned in. We got in between 18 consecutive viewers. If you should search the follow button, it's just below the stream. That would be nice if you hit that. And until then, we are going to continue casting. Dawnrim, I want to thank you already in between for casting. It is a pleasure to cast with you. And I hope I give you enough space to actually express your thoughts on the games.
Absolutely. The pleasure is, what's the word? Felt by me as well. That's not how you say it, but you get it. Thanks for having me on.
And I also hope that my German accent is not causing your ears to bleed or something like that, because I know it is recognizable, but I try my best.
We have some rougher German accents than that in the community. Don't worry.
Yes, strategist. I was searching for Dawnrim. That can't work. Xylfit, play online on Golden Pit. Do you find them?
No.
We are going to continue casting like that. It worked actually fairly well. So we got what we expected by Bavarian Barbarians and Xylfit. Britons versus Byzantines. The two civilizations that they have used the last time as well. Dawnrim, walk us through the matchup. What do you think?
I think it's a very interesting matchup. Britons are probably on paper better, but cheap skirmishers by the Byzantines can do things here. I've seen some very interesting games from Survivalists where he goes completely mad with trash in Feudal Age. I would love to see that. Don't even let the Britons get to Castle Age. That's where they shine. Keep them away from Castle Age.
Exactly. That's also what I'm thinking. The Byzantines being very versatile in their approach are not being really excelling at anything, and especially the Britons countering their main, one of their strongest units, the Cataphract here, is probably an advantage definitely for the Britons here civ-wise. I would give the advantage civ-wise also to Bavarian Barbarian. What I see though, he's not so experienced with Britons because he has put 6 on sheep and you just need 5 for that. So could even accelerate your advancing with just putting 5 on sheep and actually getting a little bit faster in your Dark Age build up there. On the other side, let's look at the maps. I think Xylfit has a really nice map. He is short of finding cows there. Those cows he found. And he has a really nice map for walling, I would say. And the way Xylfit showed in the first game that he's also willing to go for the big walls if necessary is something like... Also on the lower side, this wood here is just so much to the so nicely to the edge that I think he has 2 gold that he can make safe and also 2 stones that he can make safe. On the other side, I don't like the Britons map as much. The golds are safe, which is really good. It's really wallable. He can make himself a really nice base with those wood lines here. It's really nice. But the stones to go potentially in the middle to secure the area or even go longbowman for the meme play here, those are forward so much that I think with some aggressive Feudal Age play, you might not be able to deny the Briton the Castle Age, but you will definitely be able to deny him the castle in the control right there. The question is, Xylfit didn't show yet some early game prowess. Do you think he can do it from what he showed until now? That he can do in the Feudal game against Bavarian Barbarian?
I don't think that is what we're going to see. I just want to see it because of the entertainment value and because it can work, but it's risky, right? I don't think that's what he's going to do. I think he's going to play it a little more traditional and try to just jockey for position, probably with skirmishers. I don't know how they're going to... This is pit, right? It's not rush?
Yes, it's pit.
Yeah. So then you have to act a little bit differently with the middle. You really don't want to go too early and expose yourself down in the pit there with the kill bonus against you.
And especially with those against those Britons, or even against those Byzantines with the skirmishes right there. And I think actually a unit composition for Byzantines that could work against Britons is the cheap skirmishes with the siege rams, where Britons have such a hard time to deal with, and it counters most of what they have. And also like the light cav addition there against the rams, or the help addition doesn't really help, because you either have skirms or you do have the cheaper helps, so you're always being efficient there. So I think Buka being right that could be right that the Byzantines have a longer, the longer the game goes, the more advantage they might get. But I honestly would say, through Castle Age until early Imp, I would give it to the Brits every time.
Yeah, and it's obviously a micro question as well, right? That
Oi!
range.
Sorry.
Oh, I see it. I see it. I see it. That's unfortunate.
Unfortunate indeed, but he's still one villager ahead. That's what's striking me.
Huh.
He lost a villager and he is one ahead on Xylfit. So Xylfit struggling here with the production, showing that several times now, that his Dark Age is not as smooth as you might want to have it. But still, well, unfortunate. Bavarian Barbarian giving, not wanting to make the advantage over Xylfit too great there. Oh, and is this walking back? Oh no, the ball's walking back for Xylfit. So everybody is really trying to screw up their Castle Age. I think what's showing there is those games have been long, they have been exhausting, and this is now the result of it, because those players have given everything in the first 3 games, and going 5 games and giving everything is really something. If you, like, there are people out there who legit say after one game of 1 versus 1, they need 2 days of pause.
Yeah, I can almost attest
No,
to that.
Xylfit! Oh god.
Is he killing it out there? No. Oh,
That was
smooth.
super close, but he was busy with the scout and hunting it with the 2 villagers. So Barbarian doing so much damage. This is the most interesting Dark Age I've seen all tournament long until now, just because of those mistakes and those things that are happening, that are going wrong. And Barbarian having definitely the better Dark Age here, and I think Xylfit is opting for the fast castle, whereas Barbarian seems to go comfortably for the usual tower archer aggression that he showed yesterday so successfully against Defo.
I don't know if I like that.
I'm also not sure. Like, if I look at the base of Mr. Xylfit here, I think... I'm sorry that I'm not... I've tried to speak into the microphone. That I think
you're good.
His base, he has safe wood, he has safe gold, he has safe stone, so he doesn't really care about the tower that is being placed outside his palisade walls. Of course, those archers could get in, but he is Byzantines. He will get up 1 archer range, and you can defend even the Briton archer range with 1 archer range of the Byzantines with just going skirms, and you're fine.
Yeah. I think the Britons need to get to their extra range in Castle Age and then crossbow damage output. Then you can actually take on skirms if you micro a little bit.
Luca says that the Byzantines also have to keep in mind that they have the better towers with the extra HP. So that is something to keep in mind. And as long as Yeoman isn't researched, that's definitely true. So just Yeoman given then the Briton tower maybe a slight advantage over the other towers. I don't know quite yet. It would be interesting to try that even out.
Yeah. He's saying he didn't see a counter tower during the Nomad game, but I think it wasn't really necessary in the Nomad game because there were so many wood lines to take from. And so he has a safe... yeah, exactly. Not that he really needed to do it. And there's safe wood inside the base of the Byzantine player here as well, so...
And
I don't
let me
like
tell you,
tower
from
play.
the warm-up games against Xylfit, he knows the tower rush. So... I suffered through that, so yeah, he knows a little bit. let us take a look at the villager count. The British player BavarianBarbarian still being one villager ahead, seeming to have a slightly better ego going, opting into the archer ranges there, not having the blacksmith up quite yet, finishing the wall, so feeling comfortable, having felt comfortable definitely that Xylfit is going for the passive approach that he has been taking over every single game actually, to boom up and to rely on his defense skills to not be killed, which failed only in the first game, when he was throwing heavily with Doubt Castle. And that is something we didn't see in the other games. All the other games, Xylfit did one thing odd. He did not throw. And since then, BavarianBarbarian was not really able to take advantage of it.
Yeah. I think there was one boomer player here and one more YOLO, really, to be honest. I would call this archer play here a little bit YOLO.
Well, it worked last time, so there's a fair assumption that it could work this time. And to be honest, to have 20 Briton archers in your base is something that is absolutely scary. And let's see to what effect he can use that here.
Yeah, where's the range from the Byzantine player?
First villager down by Xylfit. The second villager is close to get down. Won't be killed. The third villager, that is close. And he won't lose another one, but he is thrown off this wood line. And he goes for some more on farms. And now as the archer range comes up already. And the fletching was not in here for BavarianBarbarian. And I think with the fletching, he could have even taken 3 villages instead of 1. So this is the difference that 1 upgrade actually can make. And I don't see a skirmisher production. The skirmisher production should have been started immediately by Mr. Xylfit. He is... Like, on the one hand, I envy his calmness. On the other hand, I think it's maybe a little bit misplaced yet. Like, just, okay, he wants to go up. He is short to go up. Now he has to... Yeah, he is clicking up, and now probably starts the archer production. I definitely disagree with that. I definitely disagree with the archer production here.
Yeah, that's playing the Britain's game, right?
Exactly.
It was smooth play. I was questioning where the skirmishers were, but being able to wall the archers out like that, saving that resource, that was smooth. But okay, there we go. I wonder if it was a misclick.
There we go, with 2 skirmishers being there, but he's nearly through the palisade wall there, and the eco is quite exposed. I'm fearing for that lumber camp down there. I'm fearing for the second lumber camp, and one time he's in the space, he can cause havocs, depending on the unit control. He's 3 villages ahead, but of course Xylfit being up to the castle age. And he is doubling down on the strategy, and this is what BavarianBarbarian has shown. He is doubling down on whatever strategy he goes. And he's miles away from going to castle age.
Yeah.
And he killed the palisade, and guess what? Before the palisade is a tree.
That gardener, he needs a raise.
That gardener needs a raise indeed. So, yeah, it's frustrating for the enemy, but it definitely is true. Like, Xylfit comes through with his booms all the time. And he is going out with those villagers to also, for the 3rd game in a row, for the 4th game even, doing a sneaky lumber camp somewhere. Just have this sneaky wood. Having like 4 skirms and 1 archer range out there. Being in castle age, having a 2nd range up. So
he needs to think about walling behind here, I think. That is a lot of archers. And it's only a question of time before they're through that range.
The skirmisher, he is starting to wall behind. Skirmisher's production and the lead skirmisher upgrade coming in. The siege workshop comes in. So he really likes to depend on the walls and on some mangonels. And just some defense to be able to just weather the storm. To just take not enough damage to be damaged too much. And he's so good at us. To actually really temper the aggression of the enemy. To temper the losses. To just make him really work for every single villager. And to then be also able, in the other side, to take advantage of that the enemy is maybe tunnel visioning and starts to feel the pressure get in there. And what I really would like to see actually by the Briton is adding either some light half and going definitely for the castle age. Second TC is up. Sorry.
How is the Barbarian doing on rest? Is he close to the next stage?
Bavarian is very close to the next stage. Now he clicks up, and he has a lot of wood. He has not been using that appropriately, so he could have been up definitely 2-3 minutes earlier, which would have helped him a lot with the crossbows, because those elite skirmishers are nice and they are cheap. And also, if you just add one stable, I think he would have done himself a real favor if he would have gone one archery range and scouts. He would have done himself a real favor to actually diversify his army there and to be able to just cause so much more damage. 30C going up for Xylfit. So Xylfit is opting in for the safe strategy that if he is comfortable, that has been so successful, to actually boom more than to create chaos or go in aggressive.
Yeah, the Barbarian has to rely on micro here now. He needs to make those archers go crossbow count.
The 30C will secure the goal, so there will be possible production there for Mr. Xylfit, and still it hurts that he has been driven away. Now is the grammar that there's the grammar that I liked. From that secondary gold, but not the end of the world. He's going to wall up there, make his base just the tube where you have to go through those town centers to just cause any damage, and all the economy is secure. And once at that point, is really hard. And now comes the pincer move. Now comes the mangonel, the mangonel from top with some skirmishes, and you have a window there. You have a window there that you need to use. And let's see this mango shot.
Can end now.
Oh, there's the first big mango shot. And does he get a second in before the botkin arrow and the cross? Oh no, he has archers. He has archers queued before the crossbows, and he can take the mangonel, so that's good. But the skirmishers didn't work, and Xylfit will take this trade all day long. He will take this trade in every day of the week. And those archer numbers, they are dwindling. 6 archers, 5 archers. And this crossbow, this was the throw of the game. Second mangonel coming out, and this, I say it now, this is probably... No, it's not game, but it is the free boom for Mr. Xylfit here, and it is the map control definitely. The cars are coming up on the other side, and he's going to opt for the town center middle already.
Yeah, this looks dire for Barbarian.
It looks dire indeed. Although the villager count is actually very close, which is surprising me.
Yeah, but the Byzantine town centers haven't really started working yet, right?
Exactly. So, at least he is not so far ahead economically. At the moment, it's more the army composition where he's at. Xylfit, being one that likes to abuse the market, having too much wood here, is going to start to abuse the market a little bit. And there's also a monastery to collect the relics, because Barbarian are maybe thinking a little bit ahead that you definitely want to have those relics. And in the castle, he is already queuing the longbow meme. I
don't know.
I don't know as well.
Is this where you go, Britain Knights?
I think this is definitely where you go, Britain Lightcav.
Or Lightcav, yeah.
I think Lightcav is the much more economical play. It deals with the skirmishes, it deals with the mangonels, it deals with everything that Xylfit has at the moment, and you additionally even can raid, and you also can go under the TCs, because you cannot garrison them all, right? And, well, he gets a 40C actually with the amount of villagers he has. He can actually afford to garrison them all, basically. But longbows, it's again a unit choice issue here, I think, so.
Yeah, I think you needed Castle Age earlier.
Yeah,
that engagement needed to be with crossbows.
This is also something, if you see that you cannot break through confidently through your enemy's wall, just stop the unit production, focus on your macro, and actually match him in the coming push. Because those walls and the re-walling and all that stuff, it draws attention, it draws resources, And that is something that you have to bank on, that you're not too far behind there. And then you already know maybe also what is his unit composition be, or what does his unit composition be. And you definitely never ever should lose your archers like that just happened.
No. I only see skirmishers from the Byzantine, is that correct?
Yeah, that is correct. Skirmishers and 2 mangonels and 1 ram. So, and BavarianBarbarian decides the best idea is he goes a mangonel himself. I like that. That decision is good in my opinion. He has 1 monk and a lot of longbows. So this is something, well, against the mangonels it works. Against the skirmishers, it's never an effective trade. Although in late Imperial, I would still argue that the arbalests and the longbows maybe even stand a decent chance against the skirmishers, especially if you can take middle control with that, because there is just so much gold, right? You can produce archers forever, basically. Oh no, and we see a shining face of the Lord here upon us, trying to build a castle in front of 2 mangonels. Oh my god, this is just not... Oh yeah, okay, good. There was not so much stone loss. Okay, indeed. There was not too bad there. It happens, but there was not too much stone. No villager lives were lost. And now he knows where the aggression is coming from, so he can accordingly react. So in the end, even that castle served a purpose there. To put it.
I guess it bought him some time, yes.
One villager down, and no ballistics yet. There is something you need ballistics when you go that heavily into archers. It should be one of your first techs to go ballistics, because otherwise.
The barbarian, is he going imp?
Oh, that is a good question, Baradin. Is he going in? That could be the case. Indeed, there is no yeoman upgrade yet, but maybe. Yeah, he was probably going in. Yes, there's the click. No, he wanted to go to him, but maybe he thought otherwise, and stays on the resources and passes. Maybe not sure how this will go, whether he can weather the storm, but his opponent creates a mangonel away there, and now, why did he click up? Didn't he realize that he cancelled the Imperial because he just has the perfect resources?
He might be worried that he needs the resources to hold, which could be the intelligent thing to do here. But then you have to do something, because this is the time to start that hold.
Exactly, this is the time, and he is busy at home with defending. This is the first time, actually. Oh no, it's not the first time. Despite of the Arabia game, that is the first time since then that Xylfit is really in the base to raid, and he is doing a good job. He's hiding the eco, he's drawing a lot of attention, and now the castle comes up to secure just this area of his part of the plateau. He has 4 castles. He definitely goes heavy into the long production, and now has actually clicked up to Imperial since 25%. So I would say that he weathered the storm maybe a little bit, and he's 6 villages behind. Not the end of the world, but definitely also not ideal. And he should have reacted there. You know where he's going. He should have reacted there a little bit earlier and should have sent them around there. And you see, there are some weaknesses going on over there in that department. And I really like the mangonel that could actually deal with the scum single-handedly. And I also like that he added actually a stable, so maybe we actually start to see some light cav. Yeah, you want the archers behind your mangonel. And there still is no ballistics. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes, not having ballistics here in that game. And that
is a very important tech.
Some sweet mangonel shots in this game. Some sweet mangonel shots indeed. And like you see, like this is one of Xylfit's other strengths. Like he is making also usually a lot out of his unit. Like those three crossbows here. Like he has ballistics, he's now killing the 2nd villager, he will kill a 3rd villager, and yeah, just 3 crossbows, right? And he is now causing the whole blue army to move backwards, which was surely not what was intended. Blue has reached
No.
Imperial Age. Don't mind the overlay bug here. The overlay is just frozen a little bit. It's also, we cannot rely anymore on the villager count that is shown here. That overlay is frozen. So ignore that for a while. We have to describe it as it is. And I cannot move out on the minimap as well. Move anymore on the minimap. But I shall do it with the arrow buttons and the usual scrolling. It's fine. So,
Oh yeah, so do we have both players in him?
hey PT Bot, welcome to the stream. We have, I think we have both. I cannot say. I can say if I see an Imperial Age tag. Just give me a second. I have to pause the game here. I have somebody ringing at the door.
Yeah, it seems like the in-game overlays or menus or whatever you want to call it has frozen, so we don't get any updates on age or pop or anything like that. That's how I understood the problem. Probably a spectator bug. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this while playing. That would be very strange.
Sorry, folks. So, we are back, and I don't see any Imperial tag right there. I really have to rely on vision here. I don't see Arbalest, I don't see Capram, I don't see Onagers yet. But I definitely know that BavarianBarbarian is up to him. Yeah, Xylfit doesn't have a 1 versus 1 elo. He just has played 1 ranked, but he should be around about 1400 if he would play. The Byzantines obviously having the cheaper imp. Hooker arguing that he should have opted for that earlier, giving now the British player I think the middle bag. Not the end of the world, maybe, but definitely not idea. It's like an intermediate streamer tournament, so we were opting for 1100 to 1350 elo, something like that. So, well, I mean, from 1300 you're basically in the top 10% of players, so it is fairly low level in comparison to pros, definitely, and in comparison to there's a lot of players up there. It's intermediate, I would say. So there is a lot of army with skirms and mangonels. I don't agree with the mangonels anymore because the Britons will just snipe that, and it's really hard to push the Britons. And actually, now Xylfit needs to show something that he has shown in all the previous matches, which is play the whole map, play around, don't engage the Briton death ball, try to go around there.
Yeah, this is very interesting.
So yeah, the Byzantine dies here. The Briton just uses the range, opting back, and even the skirms can't deal with it. The Briton still lacks the chemistry upgrade, and obviously Xylfit still not being imp, which is really curious. Because he desperately needs those siege rams, and siege ram skirm combination, maybe combined with some helps, to be able to deal with this. Yeah, Petitbot, don't rely on this here anymore, because this is frozen. Everything is frozen, as you can see from the overlay. I cannot even click on the minimap, and I'm actually happy that we play Golden Pit, so most of the action is in just not so distant places, not like Nomad or Arabia possibly. So this is not the actual numbers that are really there. I think we are now imp. He has the Arbalest tech, he has the Capram, so Xylfit is definitely an Imperial Age. Going for the Caprams and having some fun there in the Briton base, which is exactly what he should do.
Yeah, that ramp push might achieve things.
And especially... sorry, please.
No, go ahead.
And especially what it does is it draws the enemy back towards you again, and he cannot progress anymore in the middle, where that one trap is actually getting taken down by villagers and some skirmishers, because the Britons have usually one death ball, and just in the very late stages they have more. And I really don't like that we still don't see any light path from the Briton player, something he should have opted in a while ago against this mass of skirms in Siege. Because if he would have had 20 light cav, he would have had no problems dealing with the camp rams, no problems dealing with the skirms, and those few archers he could have taken out easily with his own.
Yeah, I think he did exactly what he told him to do. Xylfit, that is. He did use the width of the map, came in on the flank, and he's doing significant damage.
And even the middle he controls again, and took the middle control from Mr. BavarianBarbarian here, having destroyed one TC, having destroyed the second TC, and BavarianBarbarian just cannot deal with the rams that constantly stream into his base, and the skirmishers and the occasional arbalest that just accompanies them, because, you know, they know that the British base has a reputation to be nice to raid. And this eco is done. This game is over.
It really is. Such a nice civ for the situation, the Byzantine, that you can essentially play without gold. So when the middle becomes a no man's land, where you're just fighting and no eco is really functioning, the Byzantines are fine.
Exactly that, and we also see in the north, Xylfit going around. Of course, BavarianBarbarian will hold on. He will try somehow everything to stay in this tournament, because it's the last game, it's his last chance, and this is home map. So he's thinking, I have to try as much as I possibly can to get anything going here. But the castles are falling, his relics will fall. He has no eco at home, like literally 0 villagers there. He has like something like 10-ish villagers over here that will get challenged. He has something like 5 villagers down here at the town center. And as the enemy is imp, the moment you get in again like 5-6 rams up, you're fine.
Yeah, I didn't even realize earlier, but Xylfit has a strong, even gold eco behind his 2 castles. So yeah, everything is in his favor.
There's common one trap out and the skirms get cleaned up, but every single longbow that is getting killed is so valuable for Xylfit. He can just stream them in and he can trade super inefficient, but every longbow that is killed can basically not be replaced by the British player. So he can just constantly trade, even like 5, 10 for 1, it doesn't really matter. The Briton player will be dying.
Oh, the Byzantines even power playing here, shifting into Arbalest. Gonna challenge the range of the Britons. I guess he can.
He doesn't even need to. He just needs to kill one by one, and that is the GG. Congratulations to Xylfit for going up and winning the series 3-1. That was absolutely well played, and I think we just also saw the problems that led to this, and we saw the prowess that Xylfit has in the late game at booming, at defending in Feudal Age until his boom, and at playing on the map that he did very, very well. And also on the other side, I want to thank and congratulate BavarianBarbarian for an awesome performance. The first game, in the end, was a stomp after praising the Lord several times by Xylfit and BavarianBarbarian both. And he was 1-0 up, and I have to say that I was convinced that actually BavarianBarbarian definitely goes a more even, could probably win the series. So it was so close, to be honest.
It was.
It was.
Who's talking now?
Sorry, go ahead.
So, BavarianBarbarian, hey.
Hi.
There you are. Do you want to get asked about the games, although the outcome might not have been in your favor?
I mean, I was pretty like not well prepared, but I still had fun. It was amazing games. I was really surprised by the holds of Xylfit. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Like those 2 castles on Arena, I did not expect them. You can only do that with Franks, obviously, because they get the cheaper castles. I was like, how is this not working out? This never not worked out before. So I was facing a lot of situations that I have never ran into. And my imp in general is lacking a lot of practice because my games normally end in late feudal or early castle age. So yeah, but it was good practice, was good fun. I really enjoyed them. I hope you guys had some fun as well watching. I mean, there were some very entertaining moments, some big bada booms with the mangonels, some doubt castles,
Oh
some
yeah.
thought we doubt castles.
Oh yeah.
Or actually not. So yeah.
You played absolutely amazing, especially like the first game, the constant pressuring. Xylfit, like you used. Xylfit had not the most fortunate spawn, especially with the wood and with Mayans, that's devastating. And you used that to a really good advantage. It was really back and forth. And in the end, you prevailed there, rightfully so. With a constant and very good and very well developed unit production. Also the awareness of the map that you just built in between those 2 scouts. What do you think has led to you said you're not really trained in the Imperial Age. What do you think in the arena game? Was it the moment when you thought, oh god, I probably lose this, or did you still think you have a chance?
After losing the arena game,
Yes.
I was still good. I was still like, okay, well, that did not work out. Let's just go to the next game. Because I'm pretty quick with resetting my mindset, I would say. Not bothering about much that happened before, because it's not going to change anything to my favor, right? So, yeah, I was not really bummed by the loss on Arena. I mean, sure, it was surprising and unfortunate. And I feel like I should have switched into skirmishes and maybe added, like when I saw the second castle coming up, I feel like I should have added just town centers and boom behind this, because the damage has been done. I forced up 2 castles. That's quite a little bit of stone.
Yeah.
And I did get a few knights. I had 5 relics as Aztecs, so I was actually in a pretty good spot, but I just forced it too much. Then in Castle Age, I think, and this is probably where I lost the game, and then not transitioning because I didn't have the resources for it because it was 1 TC.
Yeah. That pretty much matches our analysis of the arena game, because I think like the Nomad game, it felt like was at a certain point then quite clear, but the arena game, there was a point, especially when you had those 11 Eagle Warriors and you had the Rams, that like there was the chat agreed, this is over. Like if he shouldn't get a castle up, this is over. And unfortunately, you rammed, and by the way, for a second time, you did against Zephyr, you did the same. You destroyed a wall that was behind, where a tree was behind.
Yeah, I like those. I like to free up the trees, man. they need to breathe.
and also in the last game, you destroyed a palisade wall where a tree was in front, so you couldn't get through. Like this is
correction.
Yeah.
I deleted that palisade.
Oh yeah.
I was wanting him to shoot at it.
Okay. No, but like this, we also agreed, cost you probably dearly, and I think that in the arena game and in the arena game, you both had really good advantage. On the Golden Pit game, the last game, what do you think? Yeah. Where did it go wrong?
I think just my plan, because I didn't really have a plan. First I was like, okay, well, let's just go feudal archer pressure with towers behind it. So I went on stone.
Yeah.
And my villagers never went forward. And then in the middle of feudal age, I was like, oh, did I not want to go for towers forward? Well, I need villagers over there then. But then I need to delete houses, or they have to walk all the way around the wood lines for the
Mm.
palisade because I didn't have any gates. And I was actually pop capped, so I didn't want to delete the house. I was like, okay, let's just go get up as soon as possible, because his castle age was also pretty late, I think.
Yes.
And I was just going for longbows,
Yeah.
even though the Byzantines have amazing trash, obviously. So
Yeah.
that was not going into my favor there.
Why, or did you not think of it, or why did you opt against light cav? Because he had skirmishes and he had siege, and light cav.
Yeah.
Well,
I think I just didn't really think that I can transition quickly enough.
all right, yeah,
And I was
transition is hard.
thinking once I'm massing those longbows, should be fine. Because I deal with everything except for the siege rams. I mean, yes, capped rams and rams itself is pretty bad already, but
Yeah.
I thought a little death ball and yeah, but no.
Yeah, that sums up, and it's also really hard in the moment, in the heat. You maybe it also gets a little to the head. It's also the last game and stuff, and so that what no the what do you think actually, Mr. Bavarian Barbarian? Wait a second, I have to sort myself. I just didn't have a question. Yeah, then we do it like this. I thank you very much. Do you have any final words to say? Can we invite you again, because you did really well. I actually thought that you will go to the final after that Arabia game.
Yeah, the Arabia game was surprisingly well. I was like, how did I win this? These guys are OP. Bulgarians? Amazing.
Yeah.
But no, thank you very much for having me. I had a lot of fun. I learned a lot. This was my first Age of Empires tournament.
Oh, you did great.
So really competitive experience. So thank you very much for having me. It was great. It was amazing. And yeah, next time I'll prepare some good strats.
That would be all glorious. Guys, check out Bavarian Barbarian's stream. He is under Bavarian B here on twitch.tv. So show him some love, leave some follows there. And Mr. Bavarian Barbarian, I thank you very much for participating, and I wish you a great weekend now.
Thank you guys, and amazing tournament. I'll tune in tomorrow. Well, I'll watch a few more games now, but yeah.
Perfect.
Have fun, guys. Bye-bye.
See ya. So, Mr. Xylfit.
Good evening.
Good evening. You won.
Yeah.
Did you notice?
Yeah, I noticed.
Congratulations. Those were some hard fought games.
Yes.
What do you think was actually the biggest strength of Bavarian Barbarian, where he set you under pressure the most?
No, yeah, he really knows his early game build orders, and like he knows how to spam those units out and put pressure on. The thing though is, I think I boomed better than him in each game, but he always upgraded to Imp and Castle, and like he was always one age above me in each game. He always upgraded to the next age before me in like all the games, all ages.
Yeah.
So he really knows his builds to get up in ages and technology, but he didn't make so much siege in any of the games.
Yeah.
Like the arena game, he made some rams, but yeah. Actually, I think in the arena game he would have done better if he just told his, I don't know how many he had, like 20 or 30 eagles.
Yeah.
Just run by. There was a hole. Just run into my eco, lol. Ignore the castles.
Pity what sounded so wrong. So I think in the arena game there were like several issues. I would have said you should have opted into archers. You should have switched from eagles to archers, definitely.
Yes, he should have gone archer. Aztec archer was the correct build for him.
Yeah. And the eagles, yeah, like I just said, like you could use the castles for both. First to defend the smush, the siege monk push, and then afterwards even to use those as production buildings
Yes, exactly. You know I like my Franks, so and he showed his hand too early. He showed me he's going Eagle, Monks, and then Rams. So he showed me all his tech choices before I'd made mine.
Yeah. Well,
And
I mean,
also-
Eagles, I would have said, okay, Eagles are like the scout replacement, and I thought a while maybe he just goes really like with 1 or 2 monks, but then he went like 3 or 4 monks, and then was fairly obvious. And I also like everyone knew probably that he's going for a smash because he also did that yesterday. And the question is just if you execute it correctly, it just is still so devastating. And the problem also was his Eagle warriors were not upgraded.
Yeah, that's...
He had no defense upgrades when he was under the second castle and fighting there. And as you said, like I think he analyzed it though very correctly. He said, well, like my game knowledge is limited to mostly until like mid castle age or something like that, because then actually most of my games end, and in like late castle or imperial age, seemed to like the transitions and stuff, and those were things where he could have yeah, done a little bit more. In the end though, you took it, and you are going up. Is there anything that you actually wanna put out there that actually led to your victory and that you would still want to be analyzed that hasn't been discussed yet?
Well, I would argue that in the arena game, you're well aware of this, but your audience might not be, that I really like to play Franks on arena, because I have a build where I go 1 TC, castle, and knights.
I told him.
Yeah, you told him. Yeah, and I was actually planning on doing that, and then I was sitting there thinking, so wait, he's Aztecs, what is he gonna do? Oh, yeah, he's gonna go monks. And if he goes monks, I bust the gate, and he has like four or 5 monks. He's just gonna Wololo all my knights.
Yeah, exactly.
Terrible idea. So
yeah, we talked about exactly that scenario. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did was I had set up to do that, and then I just pulled all my villagers around from different resources, triple TC. I'd boom out of this instead. I just turtle with the castles and boom.
Yeah.
And let him have the relics. Like, sure, Aztec relics, you don't want him to get them, but on the other hand, I don't want to invest in knights and let him convert the knights. So
there was a point when you were 80 villages ahead.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, that was...
I know. I was just sitting back, getting all my upgrades, and now I'm ready to fight you.
Yeah.
Do you have yours?
What would you have done if you went actually for the monks and arbalists? How would you have reacted?
Oh, monks and arbalists? That's a very good question. I think I might have gone for
and siege,
some
obviously.
Yeah, but I think I would have gone for siege and light cav myself.
Probably.
And I'm not sure what I would have added behind that.
Yeah, but it would have made things at least more difficult.
Yes.
Well,
but I don't think he realized that I was gonna go full throwing axeman.
Yeah.
Like I made them from my castles to defend, and I think he might have thought that I wouldn't keep pumping.
But latest point at the third castle, you must assume that like the ideal counter to the Eagle Warriors is maybe that what he wants to go for if he already has 3 castles up. So this is one of the weaknesses that we identified. But I have to say, the feudal age and the early castle age, he was really showing some prowess there, and it was mainly that castle age decision making that cost him in the end mostly. But honestly, what was wrong in the Arabia game? You praised the Lord there a lot.
Maybe I was too greedy. I was like, oh, I got this. I'm gonna build a castle here. I'm gonna protect it. Ah, shit, he came there. Okay, I'll build it over here. Oh, god damn, he's there as well. Oh, damn it.
And like the last castle, like you were done. You were absolutely done. And you tried. Was it just a troll castle to put in onto his third gold or something like that, or did you really try to do something there?
No, I knew it was pretty much game, and I was like, if I can get this up, maybe disrupt his economy for a moment, maybe I can boo back, but no, it's game. But yeah, I mean, I had stone, I needed to do something with it. I don't like to give up when I still have resources.
You had 2,500 stone in between.
I know. But I didn't feel I needed that many castles, because I didn't really want to go for the plumes.
So Xylfit, becoming the best is asking, who do you expect for the final?
Oh, it's a tricky one. Well, I heard that you 2-0'd the BTBs, so maybe you're in shape, Baradin. But on the other hand, Hoka has the knowledge, so you have to beat Wikipedia.
I have to beat Wikipedia, indeed.
Yeah, maybe Hoka will do will take something from my book and do a random build that you don't expect.
Yeah, like delete your starting PC. Surprise!
Yeah, well, there's nothing in the rulebook that doesn't say you're allowed to Persian douche, so...
Okay. Alright,
Oh, yeah.
folks. Yeah, please.
Yeah, one more thing, like, I did something dirty. Like, in the first Nomad game...
We're talking Age of Empires, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the first Nomad game, he will rushed me. Like, he started looking for where my wills were and tried to kill my wills, like, you know, boxing gloves. But then in the first arena game, I did something similar. I ran immediately across with my scout and took his shield.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's why we re. Yeah, that's why we went re, both of us. He used up my re by fighting with wills. So I used up his re by running forward with the scout on the first arena with it.
Hookah, don't you listen. Don't you listen.
I think both of you guys are mannered and won't DM each or do that kind of stuff against each other. You won't lame, I think.
Well, if you say so. No, we said.
Well, from all the games I've played with you guys, I feel like you won't. But hey.
So, I want to congratulate you very much. You have played also especially cool-headed and showed that you played the map very well. And every time you had this sneaky lumber camp, just having a safe place to wood. And your first map was really not in your favor, like the 2 gold forward, and especially the wood lines. We realized a lot later that your wood lines were quite horrible, actually. And
yes,
as Mayans, that's particularly devastating.
Yeah. Oh, also, can I ask 2 questions or 2 things? Number 1, when is the finals? Is it tonight?
The finals is tomorrow. Thanks for asking. Tomorrow. At 18 Central European and 16 GMT.
Oh, then I can rest.
Yes, you can rest. Yes. No, we heard from the Viper. This is just too draining, and as the finals will be a best of 7, we can't do that.